They kick it off. We'll get it on right after this timeout. Today's Big East football game is being brought to you by Cooper Tire, proud to be the official tire of the Big East Conference. Cooper Tires, don't give up a thing. Volvo for life. Napa Auto Care Centers, Napa, get the good stuff. Yamaha, makers of fine motorcycles and ATVs. Nobody's more in tune with motorsports than Yamaha. Advance Auto Parts, we're ready in advance. Advance Auto Parts. Hyundai, hurry into the Hyundai winning season clearance and get great deals on any new 2003 Hyundai. And by the United States Army, an army of one. Festive atmosphere here at Piscataway. These folks arrived early and the weather not great, but look at that. They teed it up. They're ready to go. And they're bringing in their youngins too. Big East football, number 4, Virginia Tech taking on Rutgers. And let's check in with the third member of our crew, Greg Roberts, down on the field.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Virginia Tech comes into this ball game a banged-up football team. And Frank Beamer says that wounded and on the road is a tough combination. Take a look at the players who are either doubtful or out for today's football game. Justin Hamilton and Richard Johnson, 2 receivers. Those guys, well, Johnson was left at home. Hamilton is here. Earlier in the week, his ankle looked like a grapefruit, but they're telling me that he'll probably play this afternoon. Tony Ball, Virginia Tech's receivers coach, said, hey, Hamilton says he's fine. He says he's ready to go. That's good enough for me. One note on the defensive side of the ball, Coles, Virginia Tech's senior defensive end, was suspended for this ball game for what Frank Beamer says is a violation of team rules. In his place will be sophomore, number 55, Darryl Tapp. So Darryl Tapp gets the start this afternoon for Tech. And David, what that means is it's additional reps for Darryl Tapp on defense. Justin Hamilton is at 100%, and they are 2 key contributors for Frank Beamer's special teams.
Greg, thank you very much. This Virginia Tech ball club, Frank wanted to be on defense. His unit has given up just 3 points in the first quarter in the first 4 games. And he's taking on a Rutgers ball club that has improved. They're 3-1, best start since 1993. Tough loss at Michigan State. They knocked off winless Army in Buffalo along with Navy. As we check out our Napa keys to the game, John Kinjemi.
Well, you talk about Virginia Tech. They have to take notice. Now, 2 nights ago, West Virginia took Miami into the final 20 seconds. And last year, Rutgers had that same Miami team with a lead into the 4th quarter. They have to take care of business and get their quarterback back on track. And that means Randall needs to throw at a high percentage to have success against Rutgers. Now, for Rutgers, they have to have success and some toughness early, some big runs early, and don't wear down defensively. They're going to rotate 7, 8 players up front of that front 7 and 8 players to try to stay fresh and stop this running attack.
Brandon Pace kicking off, high end over end kick, and it's coming to Nate Jones at about the 2. 10, 15, left side 20, 25, got room 30, 37, 38-yard line, and finally taken out of bounds by Eric Green. So a good start for Rutgers. Nate Jones with a couple of touchdown returns last year, one against Tennessee, one against Syracuse, both for 100 yards. He's very accomplished at returning kicks. It went for 35 yards.
Dave, that's an excellent way to start. We wanted to start with a big run. Well, they get a big run right away on special teams.
Offensive unit getting ready for Rutgers, led by their quarterback, Ryan Hart. Off to a pretty good start. 4th in passing efficiency in the Big East Conference. 5th in total offense. 4th in Big East passing yards per game. And he's out of Coral Springs, Florida. Marcus Phasants in the backfield along with Brian Leonard. Out of the shotgun. Here's Hart. Little swing pass got deflected by Adibi. Nathaniel Adibi with the deflection stops that first down play. On that offensive line, Marty Przmuka is the veteran. Ron Green, they like him a lot. A powerful young man at 6'6", 320 out of Linden, New Jersey.
And they'll have to take out and take on a tough defensive front for Virginia Tech. Adibi just tipped the pass, but Darryl Tapp, big shoes to fill for Colas. He has 4 tackles for loss for minus 16 yards.
2nd down and 10 for Rutgers with a cluster at the bottom of your screen of 3 receivers. Flanker screen, they get it outside to Faison. Faison crosses the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Jimmy Williams brings him down, number 2.
On the outside for Rutgers, it's Trez Moses on the outside, a junior wideout out of Delray Beach. 19 receptions for 188 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Mikel Bequet mans it in the middle. Very, very responsible for this defense. We saw him run the show very nicely last week.
Yeah, and Wilds on the corner with Hall. Those are the playmakers in the secondary.
4 wide receivers, 3 at the top of your screen for Rutgers on this 3rd down play. 3rd down and 6. Hart, flanker screen. Boy, he got harassed. Beautifully done by Virginia Tech. They had Vegas Robinson and McCall McKee coming in and put big pressure on Hart. It's going to be a 3 and out for Rutgers.
Well, we wanted to see how Rutgers was going to handle that pressure. We talked about all 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. That time, Virginia Tech defensively really turned up the notch with pressure on Ryan Hart.
So 4th down and 6. Going to bring on Joe Radigan to do the punting. Joe, 6th in the Big East, the sophomore from Hoboken, New Jersey. Going to be kicking to D'Angelo Hall, who's a very dangerous receiver. A return man and pretty good hang time. D'Angelo Hall signals a fair catch, makes it, bobbles it, 30-yard line. Who got it? Hit off his chest plate. Big scrum there at about the 29-yard line.
I think
Rutgers has recovered. First turnover of the game, 29 yards on that punt. Rutgers came in with a +3 turnover margin. Brian Leonard recovered.
Well, we talked about special teams maybe being a key for Virginia Tech. Well, it turns out that it's a key for Rutgers early. You know, tough conditions, Dave, a cold day, a wet day. Looks like Hall fields it just poorly from the get-go. He just dropped it, went right through his arms, and Rutgers right on the spot there. Instant field position inside the 30-yard line.
John, as we talk about all the time, when you have a big underdog situation like this, they've got to hit 5 or 6 plays, and this is certainly one of the opportunities that they need to cash in on. Justin Hairston is the deep back behind Brian Leonard. 1st and 10 Rutgers at the 29-yard line, and all kinds of movement, including the right guard, John Glass. John Smith, the referee today.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Let's take a look at our weather report brought to you by Prestone. When you want protection inside and out, you want the Prestone family. 58 degrees, comfortable, a little wet though, humidity at 68%, the wind in double digits, and a forecast calls for rain. 2nd down, make that 1st down at 15. Back it up to the 34-yard line. Phase on. He's in motion. And they give it to Leonard. Leonard finding room. Keeps his balance. Nicely done to the 25-yard line. Picks up 9. Good block by the wide receiver, Sean Tucker.
Dave, you called a terrific block by Tucker on the outside, just shielding the would-be tackler. Hart just an empty handoff on the inside, but there's the block on the outside. Terrific job of lowering the shoulder by Leonard. Brian's very proficient running the football, 184 yards coming into the game and 2 touchdowns, but he also can catch the football out of the backfield.
5.3 yards a pop. The Virginia Tech defensive staff, Bud Foster and company, very concerned about the fact that Rutgers can throw 3-4 guys in there that can really tote the mail. 2nd down and 6 after that 9-yard gain. Here's Hart on the out. And dragged down at about the 18-yard line is Sean Tucker. And it's a good thing Jimmy Williams has good recovery speed. There was a couple of yard separation there.
Absolutely. Man-to-man coverage, and Williams, nice catch-up speed, but good delivery of the football by Ryan Hart. We talked yesterday. They had to start with a great balance. Some nice high-percentage passing by Ryan Hart and good running. You saw the running by Leonard the play before. Now, nice percentage on the outside. Man-to-man coverage. Good pitch and catch on the outside. Tucker takes it down for a 1st down.
8 yards on the game, picks up a 1st down from the 18-yard line for Rutgers. Hairston's the deep back. Doesn't get the call. They throw it downfield. Nicely done. Inside move. Good for a touchdown for Rutgers. Sean Tucker. It's 6-0 Rutgers. He beat Garnell Wilds on a 17-yarder. And a hook up from Ryan Hart.
Dave, I was noticing a couple plays before. Garnell Wilds, big cushion on the near sideline to Sean Tucker, and I thought Rutgers may come back and attack that outside. They did with Tucker, and it results in 6 points.
Justin Music on for the point after on the season. It was 6 for 7 last week, 6 for 8 for the season, and the operation is effective. So Rutgers cashes in on the turnover, the fumble punt by D'Angelo Hall, and they take it home. Hart hooks up with Tucker. It's 7-0 Rutgers over number 4 Virginia Tech early on here, Piscataway. Welcome back, everybody. Greg Schiano And the Rutgers Scarlet Knights with a 7-0 lead here over number 4 Virginia Tech. Greg, trying to build this program up, and it's a 3rd season. It's a tough, arduous task, but they think this year they've made a lot of strides, not only with the wins, but physically they're getting stronger and their depth has improved.
And especially, Dave, at the skill positions. I think their talent level, as you see right there, wide out making a big play, nice running attack. They're getting a great mix from their skill positions.
Here's Michael Cortez kicking off to Cedric Humes and Mike Imoh. Imoh went for 91 last week against Connecticut. Humes at the goal line. 10-15, pretty good coverage to the 16-yard line, and a pretty good knockdown there by DeAndre Asbury. DeAndre Asbury with the tackle.
Dave, what I like about the play action and nice running ability, it keeps the linebackers really intact, and what it happens is it keeps them on the inside. As he roll play action, watch the linebacker right in the middle of your screen, 45, Baki. He goes and holds to the outside, and that allows a clear throwing lane for Ryan Hart to fit the football in and let Sean Tucker spin to the inside.
Double wides on this first play for Virginia Tech. Randall out of the shotgun. Doug Easlick is the lone setback in the backfield. Randall got time, and it goes to Wilford, and that's one of the keys to today's game. How does Rutgers deal with Ernest Wilford, an All-American candidate? What a target. 6'4" senior out of Richmond, Virginia. Now, Bryan Randall last week didn't really need big numbers. 6 of 14, 64 yards, 1 touchdown. But Brian Steinspring said he set such a high standard the first 3 games that, yeah, it felt like a big drop-off. He picked up 12 on that one. 1st and 10 for Virginia Tech, more conventional look this time. 31-yard line, double wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Randall pitches to Jones. They didn't get him, and Jones has got some speed. 35, 37-yard line, knocked out of bounds, picks up 6. Nice run there, chased out of bounds by Berkeley Hutchinson, whiffed on that opportunity, couldn't cash it in. Jake Grove, everything center, graded at 90% on last week's game.
That's high. That's real high. And I don't want to go against a guy like that, but somebody that does is number 95, Gary Gibson. He'll need to make plays on the inside to stop that tackle-to-tackle running attack from Virginia Tech.
2nd down, let's call it 4. 2 tight end look for Virginia Tech. Randall short drop. That time zips it a little bit too low. Tried to get it to Chris Shreve. Shreve, a 6-foot senior out of Mouth of Wilson, Virginia.
Well, Dave, the lunch pail guy for Virginia Tech in that offensive backfield, you always hear of Kevin Jones, but it's the fullback, Doug Easlick. He just does his job and doesn't worry about anything else.
Will Gilkison learning at the middle linebacker spot, a Jersey guy that stayed home.
And defensively, Johnson's going to have a big day in the middle of that defense.
3rd down and 4. 4 wide receiver look. 37-yard line for Virginia Tech. 3 down linemen for Rutgers. Offside Beckford. That draws a flag. Randall's got time. Through the hands of Wilford. Wilford dropped a couple last week.
He sure did.
Coverage on a play by Jarvis Johnson, the free safety. Asbury there as well. But Rutgers going to be called for the offsides. William Beckford, sophomore from Belgrade, Florida.
Offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down by penalty.
So they pick up a penalty, move it to the 42-yard line. Referee John Smith working with Greg Brenner, the umpire, Todd LaPenta, the head linesman, the line judge John Salmon, the side judge James Salmon, and Ben Vasconcells, the field judge, and Ron Boyd, the back judge.
Dave, something that kills a team like Rutgers, they overcame a penalty offensively when they had it 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Now defensively they make a stop, but they give them a 1st down. It's too easy for Virginia Tech.
Sure is. Number 4 team in the country, trailing 7-0 early on here at Rutgers. Shreve in motion, top of your screen. They throw it to him, and he's got blocking for Wilford. And the advancement into Rutgers territory to the 49-yard line. So they pick up a quick 9 there to Chris Shreve, who caught 2 passes last week. That'll give him 5 on the season.
You know, the thing you like about Chris Shreve is you just get it close and you have confidence he's going to catch the football. 4 receptions for 40 yards, and Wilford gets all the accolades, and certainly so. 6'4", 220, has 18 catches coming into today. But when you get it close to Shreve, he's going to catch the football.
Indeed. 2nd down, let's give him 1. 2nd and 1 to that 9-yard pickup. Kevin Jones, the deep back. Give it to Jones, looking for something on the outside. He's close to first down yardage. They're going to pay a lot of attention to him because Jonesy last year broke a play where he stretched it out one way, reversed, and Rutgers over pursued, and he wound up taking it home for a score. Paul Ferraro was adamant. We can't over pursue. Devron Thompson with that tackle on Jones. There's Jones's numbers coming into today.
Dave, he's a classic cutback runner. I mean, he gets you going one way and can stop on a dime and then go north-south for about 60 or 70 yards because he's got such great speed.
Third first down in this drive for Virginia Tech. From the 49, let's call it the 48. And they give it to Jones. They talked about that reverse action. That's good for about a 4-yard gain. Penalty flag, maybe a little face mask here. Jarvis Johnson, the strong safety out of Miami South Dade High School, made the tackle, number 20. John Smith and company checking out the penalty situation. Virginia Tech, the least penalized team in the Big East. Rutgers, third least penalized. But Rutgers picked up.
Doing the run, incidental grabbing, the face mask, defense. 5 yards success from the end of the run remains first down.
Third penalty, 15 yards for Rutgers already. One thing for sure, Rutgers had better get some pressure on Bryan Randall as we take a look at the Volvo Big East leaders.
Well, they lead the league in team sacks, but they haven't gone up against an offensive unit, an offensive line like this.
First down and 1 at the 38. Randall, he's strong. He benches 468. And he's fast. Turns the corner, 35-30. Out of bounds. First down and more for Virginia Tech. Bryan Randall, boy, they were so concerned about him. Jason Nugent forced him out of bounds, forced him out of the pocket, and Randall took off and made a big gain.
What a terrific athletic play by Bryan Randall, the quarterback. Watch him just pirouette, get out of it. You talked about his strength and you talked about his speed. Once he gets to the outside, just poor angles, I think, defensively for Rutgers. They had him for a sack. We just talked about the graphic, how Rutgers leads the Big East in sacks. Well, that time, credit Bryan Randall. He's the guy that made it happen.
Big gain there for Virginia Tech. First and 10 at the 28, 21 yards on that pickup. Here's Randall, fade pattern. He's got a man down there. Off the fingertips, should have had it to D'Angelo Hall. The three-way player, Nate Jones covering. That's a good matchup speed-wise, but D'Angelo had it mailed right to his fingertips. He couldn't bring it home.
Dave, you couldn't have asked for a better pass from Bryan Randall. Back-to-back plays that he delivers, and he had a step on the outside. Nate Jones had good coverage, but you can't beat a perfect throw, and that's what that was, a perfect throw, just a pure drop on the outside.
Oh. Boy, just keep the hands out there, let it settle in, walk home, you're in.
Yeah, just go up and run underneath it. That's 6. That's an easy 6.
Randall 2 for 4, 21 yards passing. He's looking at a second down and 10 from the 28-yard line. The 4 receivers in this set. Got time. Saint going to Shreve. Shreve makes the catch inside the 5. He's in there for a touchdown for Virginia Tech. He beat Eddie Grimes, and a great throw by Randall for 28 yards.
Dave, that's a great matchup for Virginia Tech. I said earlier, if you get it close to Chris Shreve, he's not going to miss it. He'll make you pay. And right here, man-to-man coverage, inside corner route, plenty of cushion because a great route runner is Chris Shreve. Gets to the outside. And let me tell you about Bryan Randall on that 20-yard TD reception by Shreve. That was on the money. He's playing at a high level early today.
Yes, indeed. Beat the nickelback, Eddie Grimes, on that play. Here's Carter Worley, one of the best kickers in the country, to tie it up. And he does. Tie ball game, folks, at the 10-19 mark. Number 4, Virginia Tech and Rutgers locked up at 7-7. Bryan Randall, high on the accuracy charts today, comes in at 67%. He's improving on that as we speak. Well, the guy's a little bit buff, but the weather doesn't necessarily lend itself to this kind of behavior. But we are on a college campus. 7-7. I'm not paying his bills. Number 4, Virginia Tech against Rutgers.
There's only one guy on our crew that could get away with that, and that's Greg Roberts. And I haven't seen him like that in a lot of years, believe me.
Here's Brandon Pace kicking off. Nate Jones about 3 yards deep, and he'll keep it right there. Good-looking drive by the Virginia Tech Hokies. Quick response to the Rutgers score. 9 plays, 81 yards and 225 as we take a look at the Jeffy Lube well-oiled machine scoring drive. Big play, another big play was a 3rd down penalty against Rutgers. 28 yards, Randall to Shreve.
When we talk about Bryan Randall in the keys, getting back and getting back to a high percentage, making plays with his legs, that's exactly what he did on that drive.
Well, he looked very calm in there, too. Remember last week he told us, the game has slowed down for us. It sure has. Slowed down for him. Here's Hart. Gets it outside to Tucker. And Tucker fights his way to about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Brandon Manning, one of the outside linebackers, made the tackle. He's a junior out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Well, it looks like Rutgers offensively wants to get the football to Sean Tucker. They isolated him on the short side of the football field. They ran a curl with him. Quick screen to the outside. So that's a guy that has a lot of speed. He came into the game with 13 receptions, 1 touchdown, but a high average, 19.3 per catch.
Sophomore out of Parkland, Florida. Hart 4 of 6, 35 yards and a touchdown thus far. Leonard gets the carry, and boy, he's met in the backfield. Real nice play by Vegas Robinson, the senior from Chesapeake, Virginia. Shot that gap and had a free shot on Leonard.
Yeah, it looked like he beat John Glass up front, the junior out of Allentown, and that's a great combination of speed and size and strength in Vegas Robinson. He's a redshirt senior, 21 total tackles coming in, but he shot the gap, as you said. He's got great anticipation from that linebacker spot.
Game 3rd down and 4, big spot here. 3rd down conversion, Rutgers at 45% coming into today's action. Hairston's in there. Here's Hart, flushed by a DB. Ooh, he tried to feed it into double coverage to Ray Pilch. Nothing doing there. Good coverage, Jimmy Williams. And Nathaniel at DB with outstanding pressure. Hairston did stand in there and protect Ryan Hart.
Yeah, DB really made Ryan Hart feel uncomfortable in that pocket. Had a slide to his left. That's always a tough throw for a quarterback, moving left and trying to deliver the football downfield.
30 yards on the first punt by Joe Radigan. D'Angelo Hall wants to catch this one badly. He's fumbled a punt and dropped a sure touchdown. He's going to try to return this at all costs. Short kick. And he backs off it. It hits one of the Rutgers players, and it's going to be down at about the 46-yard line. That's what was initially touched. And don't forget, everybody, next Saturday, noon Eastern, most of these same stations, Rutgers visits West Virginia in the Big East game of the week. We look forward to seeing Rich Rodriguez and his crew, see how they recover from that tough loss at Miami the other night. College football from ESPN Plus. Every game is a must. And we get to see Grant Wiley, outstanding linebacker, one of the dominant performers in the Big East Conference. And is a guy that as reliable as they come. That's, of course, Grant last year in action against Willis McGahee and the Miami Hurricanes. He's all over the place. First team all Big East performer. Great starting position here for Virginia Tech at the 47 of the Hokies. They pitch it back. Jones runs through a couple of tackles. Look at the strength and speed. Picks up 8. Boy, there were a couple of whiffs there. Jarvis Johnson had an opportunity to get him and missed. Remember last week Greg talked to his dad about his strength and speed. Look at this.
Unbelievable. You're right. Johnson had the first guy there for Rutgers. Had him in the backfield. Maybe would have held him to no gain. And all of a sudden it turns into an 8-yard gain because of the strength and the composure of Kevin Jones. And hopefully he's okay. Looks like they're attending to his left wrist or his hand. So let's hope to see him back in the game. He's in a lot of pain.
Remember, he hurt his wrist, got slammed out of bounds in a James Madison game a few weeks ago. 2nd down and 2 at the 45 of Rutgers. Randall play fake, got time. Looking for a big package. Got it, Shreve, he's going to go. 10-5 touchdown, Virginia Tech. A split, Hall and Johnson for 45 yards and a 13-7 lead. Was he open or what?
What a great throw again by Bryan Randall. He just splits the seam right up the hash. Terrific timing in that pass offense today by Virginia Tech. They look as sharp as I've seen them all year.
Tell you what, Richard Johnson may get Wally pipped here by Chris Shreve.
That's right.
There's the point after by Worley. Wally Pipp, of course, was replaced by Lou Gehrig and never saw first base again for the Yankees back a couple of generations ago. Right now, 14-7, number 4 Virginia Tech on top of Rutgers here in Piscataway, New Jersey. lead as we look at Charlie Wiles. 14-7 over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights here. Dave Sims, John Congemi, Greg Roberts with you. As Brandon Pace getting ready to kick it off once again. What a quick drive that was. Shreve with a huge possession. Here's Nate Jones. They're going to go fake the reverse. Nate looks for a hole. Cut it back into traffic and pays a price at the 27. He got knocked down on a really fine tackle. That was number 42. Blake Warren was in there along with James Anderson. Here's that scoring play.
Dave, this is what a great running attack will do. Watch the linebacker depth right here. They are right and about 4 or 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, but they can't get any deeper because of the running attack. And look at Jarvis Johnson, number 20. He's supposed to be to the left side of the field. Just great timing in the pass offense. But what that running game does is not allow the linebackers to get deep. It clears out passing lanes for Bryan Randall. He's on fire today.
Or Hairston, let's see if they get him going at the run game. He gets a very good run defensive unit. He gets a call right here. A nice little glide to him. Gets it to the 30. Picks up 3. Kevin Lewis makes the tackle. Kevin Lewis, number 70, along with his brother Jonathan Lewis. I tell you what, that makes it hard to scout, right?
That's right. Well, let's key on this guy. Let's key on that guy. It doesn't work against Virginia Tech. 15 players, different players, have scored a touchdown. And it's just a credit to the depth and the ability they have at the skill positions on the outside.
From the 31-yard line. 2 receivers top of your screen, 1 at the bottom. Hart 4 of 7, 35 yards passing with the touchdown. 4-man rush. He's in trouble. And down he goes. Down he goes. Nolan Burchett with the tackle, the sack along with Kevin Lewis. Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator, turning his troops loose. Just rush 4 there.
Yeah, just rush 4. Just a speed rush on the outside and power rush up front, but no one was going to allow anybody to get out of the way of Burchett. Looked like Kevin Lewis in there too.
Yeah, Kevin got the full sack, and give Burchett half credit on that one.
Because we're nice guys.
That's it. Lost to 7. 13. I always looked at that.
I know.
3rd and 13. Big play here for Rutgers. Down 14-7. Deep drop Hart. Throws short. Phase up through his hands. Boy, that's a good throw by the quarterback. Got to make that catch.
Well, right now Rutgers is in a mode where their confidence level is slowly starting to get lower and lower, and they came into the game wanting to run the football, but they've thrown 9 passes to only 3 runs, and that's not what Greg Schiano wanted to do. They wanted to build confidence in that offensive line, attack Virginia Tech. Well, it looks like all the attacking's on defense, and they're wearing purple helmets.
Radigan averaging just 28.5 coming in on these 2 punts today. For the season, he was averaging 40.5. They're looking for a fake. They go for the block. No, and he gets a good one this time. D'Angelo Hall gets hit immediately. 45-yard line, a solid football play for Rutgers as they trail. Here, Jason Nugent with the just unloading on D'Angelo Hall. Well timed.
Well timed and a great catch by Hall, because that could have been another miscue on special teams. You have to allow the receiver the opportunity to catch the football. Well, that opportunity was gone in a second, and Nugent was there to make sure of it. Well, you can feel that up here, Dave.
Let me tell you something. It takes some courage to stand in there on that punt return team and be the deep guy. You got to make the catch and then take a hit. Cedric Humes in the backfield. He gets the call running up the middle. Not a lot there. Well defensed by the entire front 7 of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. 14-7. Jason Hart opened the scoring. 17 yards to Tucker for Rutgers' 7-0 lead. And then Randall with a couple of touchdown passes. 28 yards to Shreve and 45 yards to Shreve. It's 14-7.
Well, last week, Virginia Tech, Cedric Humes played a lot in that second half, and it looks like he may have to play a lot in the first half, depending on that injury to Jones's wrist.
Second down, 12. Under 6 to play here in the first quarter. Rutgers showing blitz. They bring up a bunch of people. They're going to run right at it. Here's Randall right up the middle. Look at his speed and his strength. He gets a first down. Rutgers territory at the 49-yard line. Jarvis Johnson finally tripped him up. That was a 16-yard gain.
Jarvis has been busy early in the afternoon, and Tackling quarterbacks is not what you want to do as a defensive back, especially when they're running a 40-yard sprint right at you. And that's exactly what Bryan Randall was doing. Great speed and acceleration was a design play, and he's a step away from making another 6 points for Virginia Tech.
That ball for Arrow, just terrifying. Got a running back, blank quarterback, for crying out loud. Doug Eastlick and Humes in the backfield. Hamilton in motion. And running free down the middle. The tight end. Another first down for Virginia Tech. Keith Willis. A.B. Jarvis Johnson on a post to the 15-yard line. First down, Virginia Tech.
How many weapons does Virginia Tech have offensively? They had Doug Eastlick going down the rail. He was wide open, but the quarterback, Bryan Randall, decides, hey, I'm going to give it to the big fella down the middle, Keith Willis, 6'5", 261, a redshirt senior, had a step as well. And Kevin Jones back in the football game for Virginia Tech.
32 yards on that pickup. Wilford uncovered here momentarily as they break the huddle. Got one-on-one coverage. Hamilton in motion. They give it to Jones off the left guard, down to about the 15, picks up 2, and we check in with Greg Roberts.
Hey, Dave, if you look closely at the left wrist of Kevin Jones, you'll see some great tape. They have retaped his left wrist. Remember, in the game against James Madison, he was slung into a wall by Demetrius Chambly of JMU, sprained both wrists. The doctors are telling me, team physician Gunnar Brolison says those wrists are not fully healed, and all he did was earlier re-aggravate it. They gave him an anti-inflammatory. They say he's fine.
Tough kid. He's a football player. Frank, thank you very much. Second down play coming up. Second down and 8. Randall 5-7 for $126. Here's Wilford. Nice move on the inside. And he'll fight his way to about the 5-yard line. That's good for first down. And folks, I got to tell you something. Here's how Jonesy got hurt a couple of weeks ago. This is one of the great cheap shots maybe I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is disgusting. Going down the Virginia Tech sideline. Now, the tackle's made there. He's pushed out of bounds, but look at this. That's just awful. He should be ejected.
Understand
thrown,
it was, yeah.
Thrown out for the entire season for that one. That was just brutal. Yeah, Chambly, Demetrius Chambly. That's a name Kevin Jones won't soon forget.
What a bad play that was. By the way, that catch by Willis was his 4th of the season. First and goal, Virginia Tech at the 6. Hamilton in motion. Give it to Jones. He's going to walk in. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. Great block by the aforementioned tight end, Keith Willis. Boy, he sealed all the backside pursuit. 5 yards on the run, and Virginia Tech has answered that initial Rutgers score with 3 straight.
Dave, that's just too easy. I mean, it's too easy to march down the football field. Point of attack, and you called it the tight end, just a stalemate at the line of scrimmage, and it just took some speed on the outside from Kevin Jones, a sprint to the end zone, and a 5-yard touchdown for the Hokies.
This is one explosive team. High snap, but Worley and Robert Peasley complete the operation. It's 21-7. The 4th-ranked team in the nation on top. And Greg Roberts, what do you have?
Well, Dave, Greg Schiano is busy trying to build a program here at Rutgers, and he goes by the Field of Dreams philosophy. If you build it, they will come. Well, they are certainly building it. They are expanding the Hale Center, and I got a first-hand look at it yesterday. It's a $12 million project. It will include an expanded strength and conditioning facility, a cutting-edge sports medicine facility, state-of-the-art learning center, meeting rooms, and much, much more. And check this out, guys. Yep, that's old Greg, hard at work.
Hey, man.
I can officially say that I helped build the Hale Center.
Yeah, but where's your union card, pal? This is New Jersey. This is a union state, pal.
Hey, buddy, get in the back of the line. Well, nothing moves unless we say it moves.
Hey, you're in Jersey. Come on now. Hey, you got to share the union cup.
Just trying to do my part, guys.
There you go. Nice job. Great looking facility, too. This complex is really going to be outstanding once it's fully complete. Greg Schiano really doing some work now. 3 straight scores in 6:38, John.
Yeah, it's tough to combat such multiplicity on offense. They can beat you with a quarterback running the football. They can beat you with him throwing it on the dime. They can beat you with Kevin Jones or take your poison with Cedric Humes. They've got it on the outside with Chris Shreve and Ernest Wilford. So they've got so many ways to win football games, and this is the best they've looked all year.
Yes, indeed. Here's yet another kickoff, and it drives Dave Jones about 8-9 yards deep. So far, the offensive philosophy of Rutgers, we talked about they abandoned the run. They've done a lot of short swing passes. And just like Connecticut last week, you're not seeing anybody really doing any deep middle or even you know, any fly patterns or goes. Everything's short. Do they adjust their philosophy now?
Well, I think they have to. Being down, you know, 21-7, it's still very early in the football game. But remember, the total yards is a clear indicator. 187 to 41. Rutgers has to find a way to do something offensively to spread them out so they just can't pin their ears back and come at you. And that means getting back to what they do, a good mix. Try to get aggressive with the running game, but try to go vertically a little bit more in the passing game.
Here's the other thing. They're getting a lot of pressure just rushing 4. Here's Hart, deep drop. Got time. Flush now. There's a penalty flag, undoubtedly a hold, and he throws it to the near sideline and out of bounds. So that catch by Tucker is going to be ruled no good. Good pressure by Jonathan Lewis.
And Dave, when you go back to the beginning of this football game, it's exactly the script that Rutgers wanted to have happen. They get instant field position, they get a punt fumble, they recover it, and they go in for 6.
Holding offense 10 yards from the previous spot.
Oof.
Remains first down.
So Virginia Tech enjoying this march backwards by Rutgers. They got a 21-7 lead, 3:34 still to go here in the first quarter. And Virginia Tech, yeah, the offense has done all the damage for the most part.
Absolutely they have.
First and we're almost at Cape May Courthouse here for this next first down for Rutgers. 4 penalties, 25 yards. They run phase on. Oh boy, something broke and a whistle happened. Somebody must have flinched along the line. I think it might have been right tackle Ron Green.
Yeah, you may have to add to that penalty total, Dave.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So now, emotionally, psychologically, those are 2 critical areas now for Rutgers offense.
Yeah, and the worst thing about it is when we talked about this before the game, you and I and Greg, Virginia Tech really hasn't put it together in all 3 phases this year. They've done it defensively one game, offensively, special team. Today, you're seeing all 3 phases at work.
Faison and Leonard in the backfield. Here's Faison in motion. Gonna run Leonard. Got room, 10, 15. Boy, he does run well. He was well advertised. Good block by Brian Duffy, the left guard. And this young man comes in with a lot of credentials. Holds a New York State all-time scoring record with 696 points. He's deceptively fast. He picked up 14 here.
And this is a guy, once he gets in the open field, if he's got a step on you, you may not catch him because he's terrific once he has open field running. And he does a nice job of just getting what he can and getting it back to a manageable 2nd and 11.
They will take that. 2nd and 11 at the 19. Leonard also has recovered a fumble. Oh, there's a good stick in there by Brandon Manning. Solid defender, walk-on who's earned a scholarship. He's holding off Aaron Rouse at that outside linebacker position. They like him.
Brandon Manning was shot out of a cannon. Nobody gets a hat on him, and Manning just takes advantage of the situation. The junior out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, just shoots the gap, and a tackle for a loss on the play.
Transferred in from the Air Force Academy. Lost 2 on that play. Rutgers 0 for 3 on 3rd down today. 3rd and 13, 17-yard line, trailing 21-7 as we come up on the 2-minute mark. And Ryan Hart really disgusted. And as a quarterback, John, you've been there. You gotta watch your body language, because everything. I mean, tell that story about blowing on your hands. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Well, Ron Turner was my quarterback coach at the University of Pittsburgh, and at practice it would be a day like today, kind of rainy, cold, and he'd say, "Hey, whatever you do, don't blow on your hands."
Yeah.
Well, I'm cold, coach. What do you mean, don't blow on your hands? He said, "Well, if you're cold, everybody else is going to be cold. So don't show your emotions. Don't show that you're this or that. You're hurt. Whatever the situation is, because the other 10 guys in the huddle are going to follow your lead."
So when he yanks down that chin strap, I mean, everybody's frustrated, but he's got to maintain.
Yeah, sometimes you can get away with that if it happens at the right time in the game. But right now, when you're trailing 21-7 and everybody's looking for answers, that's the guy that has to have the cool head.
Let's take a moment right now to thank our corporate sponsor, Cooper Tire, proud to be the official tire of the Big East Conference. Cooper Tires, don't give up a thing. So right now, Rutgers needs to forget the mistakes. And meanwhile, down here, Charlie Wiles, Bud Foster and company, they got loving what's happening here.
Well, they're in attack mode right now, Dave.
Charlie on the left, Bud on the right. Attack indeed. And like we said, They feel a lot of pressure with just 4 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not bringing a 7 or 8 like they usually do.
And they're getting that good rotation of players, both at the defensive line positions and at the linebacker positions.
Tight formation for Rutgers on this 3rd down and 13 at the 17. 4-man rush. They run a stunt. Hart's got time. Slings it down the middle. Man running free. Nice adjustment. First down, Rutgers. What a play by Trez Moses, the junior out of Delray Beach. Had a leg injury in the 3rd game a year ago. And he's so happy to be back. A DB really put one on Hart. They pick up 33 yards on that play, John.
Dave, talk about locating the football and going up and get it. This is textbook. This is how you teach it by Moses. Not a good ball, but there was pressure down the middle against the wind. Reinhardt lays one up, but watch number 8, Trez Moses, as he just stops, breaks off his route, goes up and gets the football. 188 yards this season and 3 touchdowns. Thought he'd be the playmaker on the outside, and he showed us why there.
5th in the Big East in catches per game at almost 5 per. Ariston, a big collision in the secondary. Mike Daniels came up, the junior free safety out of Fairfax, Virginia. Pretty good stick, but the gain was even more impressive. Picks up 6.
First time all afternoon, Dave, you got to see Hairston at top speed running downhill. You've seen that on the Virginia Tech offensive backfield, but that time you saw him get into his motor and go downhill. Nice aggressive play on 1st down.
He's headed for University of Iowa. Couldn't get in. Winds up here at Rutgers University. Play fake Hart. Got time. Throws to the 2nd man. Nice operation there. Good for a 1st down as he hooks up with Sean Tucker. Rutgers moving the ball now in the rain here at home, trailing 21-7 to the number 4 team in the country.
Well, when you can run it nicely and get a good gain on 1st down, you can go back to play action. And play action, Harrison does an excellent job of filling the gap on the outside, allowing Hart to step into the pocket. Great timing on the outside to Tucker. Good pitch and catch. Now they've established some rhythm, Dave. They've got a couple plays back-to-back, couple positive running plays, couple positive passes. Now somebody has to step up and cash in.
Marcus Daniels on the far side. Bottom of your screen, Jerry Andre. Here's Hart. Got time. Ball got tipped. Oh, it's intercepted by Virginia Tech. The tip. Lewis comes up with it. The tip by a DB. Nathaniel DB with another big play for Virginia Tech. He's tipped 2 today. And boy, you talk about a D alignment, Christmas, New Year's, all into one on this play here for Mr. Jonathan Lewis.
And it was all rolling positively for Rutgers. Just a left-hand tip of the football by a DB. Terrific athletic play by him. And then you talked about the dream catch by Lewis. His eyes were popping out of that helmet.
Look what I've got. You know, and after Warren Sapp caught that touchdown a couple of weeks ago, every D lineman thinks they can do it now.
Absolutely. That's the 4th tip pass this year by a DB.
104 to go. Double wides for it in a shotgun. Blitz by Rutgers. Randall hangs in, fires to D'Angelo Hall, makes the catch. 48-yard line, pickup of 8. But D'Angelo Hall atoning for that that fumble on the punt earlier in the 1st quarter.
Well, we saw Moses for Rutgers idle down and go get the football. That was a terrific example that time for a defensive back going to wideout and idling down and just catching the football. He knew there wasn't a big play there, but all he wanted to do was go down and secure the ball. He did that. Now they get in a nice 2nd down situation.
D'Angelo Hall's going to feel great now. He dropped the touchdown, fumbled the punt. Now he's caught one. Now he's offensively into the game.
That's right.
2nd down, 3. Randall deep drop, good protection. Down the middle, tight end's got it. And fighting off, that was Jared Mazzetta. And he fought off a couple of would-be tacklers. Very impressive. He's 6'4", 258 from nearby Flemington, New Jersey. That's about 40 minutes from here in Piscataway.
Well, with a name like Mazzetta, would you think he'd be from anywhere else but right here? Terrific job of concentration, getting the football. You know he's going to get hit, but watch him deliver the blow to number 33, Jason Nugent. It looked like Nugent was going to be the one that was going out and delivering the big hit, but Mazzetta coming over 6'4", 260 over the middle. That's a big target and a big young man.
No doubt about it. 54 of his catches, now 55 have produced a 1st down. That is very effective productivity. Randall, hot hand today as Virginia Tech has a 21-7 lead here in Piscataway. Quarter number 2 coming up next. About to get underway here at Piscataway. Dave Sims, John Kajemi, Greg Roberts, and our Big East crew. 21-7, the 4th team in the country. Virginia Tech, 4th ranked team. And their quarterback A lot to talk about here. Their quarterback is having a fabulous day, and he put up some serious numbers in the first quarter alone. Kevin Jones, the deep back. As Virginia Tech operates from the 35 of Rutgers. Jones, big hole into the secondary. And I tell you what, if you don't bring a load to knock him down, you are going to pay a high tariff. Jacob Gibson and Jake Grove, an outstanding block. Look at these numbers here. A $159 passing, 10 first downs to 4. Average yards per play, Virginia Tech 11.1 to Rutgers 5.7.
Dave, they took 19 snaps in that first quarter. They have 21 points. And this team is rolling.
Jones, 8 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown to this point. Randall, short drop, pump and go, and he's got man down there. Randall throws, he fed it in there to D'Angelo Hall, another first down for Virginia Tech. That is a unbelievably difficult throw running to that ankle. You've been there.
Dave, he's in the zone. This is his day today because anything he does is turning up in a positive play. Rutgers actually made a good play on the edge when he makes the pump fake, but Randall has the presence of coming back and finding D'Angelo Hall. Watch D'Angelo Hall on the outside. He had to pump and go, but he knows there's deep coverage behind him. So what does he do? A good defensive back turn receiver comes back to the football, creates a lane for his quarterback. 2 receptions, 22 yards on the afternoon.
15 yards in the game. There's a lot of good things happening for Tech on that one. Here's another one as they get it out to Mike Imoh. Eludes attack. Eludes another. He's in. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. Boy, they've got some serious talent. The disparity is really starting to show now. 10 yards on that hookup.
Well, you can't say enough about Bryan Randall. Every throw he's put on the money. He's done it with his legs. He's done it by buying himself some time to get it downfield. And Imoh, a 10-yard reception for a touchdown. He had a big play last week against UConn on the kickoff return to open up the second half. Well, right now he makes a big play to start the second quarter.
Worley for the point after. Snap better this time. Right to Peasley, a little bit low. Right on the money to Peasley, and Worley knocks it through. Mike Imoh with the score, 28-7, Virginia Tech. Look at the effort. The poise of Randall hits his receiver, and Imoh does the rest. Virginia Tech showing why it's number 4 and maybe deserving of a higher ranking. But they are ready.
They're prepared. They're cold, I'm telling you, on that hill. Look at the guy behind them.
28-7, Virginia Tech 28 points in 11 minutes and 29 seconds. Pace, shorter kickoff this time. And Moses has some difficulties. See if he can find some help. He does. And he's taken down before he reaches the 20. Gets to the 18-yard line. Brought down by John Kinzer. 28-7. Virginia Tech, 4th ranked this week. We're at Piscataway, New Jersey, Rutgers Stadium. The birthplace of college football. Dave Sims, John Kajemi, Greg Roberts, and our crew. And Virginia Tech, we saw them last week wipe out Connecticut. Rutgers improved at 3-1. Would like to try to make a name for itself here today. Still a long ways to go when you're talking about going up against Virginia Tech. Leonard breaks the tackle, breaks another tackle. And now you see why Bud Foster, in our conversation with him, the D coordinator for Virginia, he was extraordinarily concerned about Bryan Leonard. Last week had a sprained knee, but he's put up numbers. Picks up 16 on that one.
Yeah, you called it earlier. Deceptive speed, but a strong runner in between the tackles. That time, very patient, staying behind his offensive line. Then he breaks into the secondary.
Good-looking run. Leonard, 4 carries for 39 yards. Great average per attempt, 9.8. Andre in motion. Hairston trying to get to the edge and show some strength. Carry a couple of tacklers to the 38-yard line. Aaron Rouse there, number 36, along with Jimmy Williams. All right, walk me through some mindset here of Rutgers. I mean, they've seen an absolute blitzkrieg here, 28-7.
Well, if you're Rutgers, you'd love to possess the football for a little bit longer than they've had it and go down and cash in and get a score. And a score meaning a touchdown, not a field goal. But you want to be able to keep your offense on the field and get some confidence about your offensive line, get some confidence in your quarterback. And Hairston did a nice job of moving the pile that time on first down.
Here we go on a 2nd down and 6. Hart's got decent time. Throws in. Intercepted. Great play. Robinson. Robinson looking for running room and finally taken out by Marty Pismuka. Outstanding play by Vegas Robinson, a senior out of Chesapeake, Virginia. Wow.
Hey, that looked like Brooks Robinson down the line catching a line drive. Just one-handed play by Vegas Robinson. Watch this catch.
Oh.
The right hand goes up and palms it down. Terrific job of catching the football.
First pick of the season.
Talk about D'Angelo Hall being a wideout. They may move Vegas out there. Look at that vertical leap.
Got some ups, too. Bud Foster, a lot to cheer about. He was concerned that in the route last week, his club only played, his unit played hard for 3 quarters. See if he can get 4 quarters out of it here. Here's Randall eluding for a moment. He's able to pick up about 2 yards on the play. Pretty good pressure by Raheem Moore and Gary Gibson. He's able to get out of the way. You guys have got to get back. Our game track fans, it's all Virginia Tech. Look at this, dominant on offense.
Bryan Randall has been electrifying in that quarterback spot. He's been throwing dimes all day. Chris Reed, the recipient of 2, and then on the outside, Kevin Jones just showing his speed on the outside. And then Imoh gets into the game. 10-yard touchdown, great acceleration inside the 5-yard line. And this Virginia Tech offense is doing it at will today, Dave.
Number 3 in total offense in the conference. And 27th nationally. Very impressive as they call a timeout. Virginia Tech does. Randall has rushed 3 times for 29 yards, passed 10 of 12 for $185 and 3 touchdowns. That is maximum efficiency, boys and girls. 28-7, Virginia Tech. The scoring, folks, but since then it's all Virginia Tech, and they did it in less than 12 minutes. 28-7 right now at the 11:45 mark. They're in Rutgers territory at the 37-yard line. Bryan Randall has had I tell you what, the numbers he's put up for a quarter and change is good enough for about 2 weeks. Shreve with a catch, breaks a tackle, fights to the 21-yard line, a penalty flag back upfield at about the 31.
It looked like Berkeley Hutchinson, the linebacker, Dave, was tangled up with Imoh and might be interference defensively.
Now the penalty is going to go against Virginia Tech. Randall is in the zone.
Pass interference, offense, 15 yards from the previous spot, remains second down.
That's a big one.
Yeah, usually in that situation, you look for the last guy with the arms out, and it must have been Imoh for Virginia Tech.
Just want to make a correction. The side judge today is James Brennan. I mentioned somebody, John Salmon is the line judge, but I want to make sure I give Jim a pop there. He's the side judge working on John Smith's crew today. So back up Virginia Tech on the Hokies side of the field at the 49-yard line. You talked about Randall being in the zone. So confident, so composed. Second and a long 22 here. Rutgers with a 4-man rush. Randall's got time going for it all. And Wilford broke it off. Going down that far sideline. What usually happens, or what are the reads there that they could have a miscommunication like that? Because Randall clearly thought he had a big play.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the outside, Ernest Wilford just broke his route off like he was, supposed to do that. So it might have been just a communication failure. It might have been him just throwing the football away.
Bryan Randall just went over to speak to quarterback coach Kevin Rogers, see what they come up with here on this 3rd and 22. 28-7 Virginia Tech here at Rutgers. 4-man rush. Randall's got time. Now it opens up. Throwing downfield. Nate Jones, interception at the 8. He was trying to feed it into Justin Hamilton. Hamilton stopped, and Randall, I think, wanted him to take off because there was field down there. It's almost as good as a punt, though.
Yeah, it really works out as a punt, but as you said, Dave, just as the quarterback, Bryan Randall, was getting ready to throw the football. At the same time, the wide receiver broke back. Anytime your quarterback breaks contain and he's on the run, you either want to go towards him or take off away from him and let him decide where he wants to put the football. And that time, Hamilton broke back just as Randall was throwing the football deep down the field.
2 turnovers for both clubs today. 11:06 mark to go here in the second quarter. Long field ahead of Rutgers, not to mention that score, 28-7. And for Randall, well, for Nate Jones, his second pick of the season. Second interception for Randall. Oh, what a hit, a collision there. Who is that? Wow. Jordan Trott with a hit. Right now, let's check out Heisman history, brought to you by the award-winning lineup of Suzuki products, all proud presenting sponsors of the Heisman Trophy. Well, Heisman winners from the state of New Jersey. Petty School, not far from here. Larry Kelly, product of that school back in '36. Mike Rozier, Camden. I think that's exit 4. And Rondane, Berlin, New Jersey. That's about exit 4 or 5.
That's great, Jersey. That's how you know everybody.
Exactly
lives,
right. You folks all over the country watching on the satellite dish, ESPN Plus, you know what I'm talking about if you're from this part of the country. At the 5, nothing doing there for Darryl Tapp on a very effective play, number 55, taking down Justice Harrison. And this is a smother job here by Virginia Tech.
Yeah, really nowhere to run the football. And credit Virginia Tech. They've been able to roll people in and out. And that's what Frank Beamer likes to do and Bud Foster likes to do defensively. They like to roll that front 7 in. So you always have a fresh body with a hand down on the line of scrimmage as well as at that linebacker spot. And I think Darryl Tapp's done an excellent job coming in for Colas today.
Rutgers 1 of 4 on 3rd down. Boy, coach really gets his message across to a guy like Colas. Colas is an outstanding player, but we can win without you. Here's Hart going for a deep ball. They broke that one up. Nothing doing down there. Garnell Wilds was there along with James Griffin. Right now, turn the page to Beamer ball.
That's it.
Look at that, 98. Are you kidding? Come on, 98 blocks in 192 games, 52 punts, field goals, PAT. We saw one last week.
Guys are begging to get on block teams and special teams at Virginia Tech, and they're all first teamers. First teamers,
exactly. Hey, coach, I want to play. I want to play in the pride and joy, the punt block, the kick block team. Shreve is in there as a cover guy on the bottom of your screen.
That just sets a tone. It just sets a tempo for your whole team.
They're going after him. Didn't get him. Bad kick. I tell you what, the high anxiety made him rush that. And look at the bounce. Virginia Tech's in spectacular position at the 32. You know as well as I did. They watch. They do the films. They know about the reputation. There's a penalty flag. Hey, man, I got to get rid of this.
Yeah, and then you get the ball with 32 yards to go for a touchdown the other way.
They like legal motion. Yeah, see, they put them in high anxiety by all the stunning and all the moving and everything. 27 yards on the punt. Feel like you're trying to play speak off. You got 2 seconds to get the shot off, and you better hit a draw that's about 280.
and they're not only on game day, but they're thinking about that all week.
Yeah.
You know, they're watching that film all week, and all they hear is Beamer ball, special teams. You have to be proficient. You can't turn it over. You can't get a punt block. Well, after a while, it starts to wear on you a little bit. Illegal questions yourself.
John Smith's microphone went, but we get he declined. And not a surprise is Marcus Vick making his first appearance today. Younger brother, the heralded Michael Vick. Easily the biggest name to graduate, and there have been a lot of great football players at Virginia Tech, but Michael clearly #1. Here's little brother Michael. Played a little bit last week. Led a couple scoring drives against the University of Central Florida.
I was impressed with his arm strength.
Yeah. Cedric Humes in on the backfield. Play fake, and they're going to roll him out and let him throw it first play. And what an effort. And a catch by Shreve at the 19-yard line, first down, Virginia Tech. Shreve's putting on a clinic today. He's got a couple of touchdown passes. He's got 13 yards on that gain, and now they're going to wipe it off.
Boy, it looked like a good catch. Let's take another look at this. Nice pass for the first play. Nice and low. Fits it in there. Oh, I don't know. It looked like a catch to me. I think that's a bad call. It looked like a good catch.
32-yard line. Shreve with 3 catches on the day. 4 catches on the day. We're at the 9:24 mark. Second down play. in a 28-7 Virginia Tech lead. Vick on the edge with room. Look out! Talk about little brother. Penalty flags all over. Marcus Vick banged out at the 3, but there's 1, 2, 3 penalty flags on the field. Could be a hold on tight end Keith Willis. Just about everybody has a 29-yard gain. Who in the officiating crew didn't see that?
There's a lot of laundry out there inside the 30-yard line.
They were unanimous in that. A hold against Virginia Tech's going to wipe out that 29-yard run by Marcus Vick. You know, it's scary. He wasn't in the high gear, but he was darn close.
Holding offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, 2nd down.
Dave, when I see at the quarterback position with Randall and Marcus Vick, they're not runners, they're gliders. They don't really turn it on unless they have to, because it just looks like it's effortless. They're running to the outside, and it's effortless on the outside. You might have had a hold by Willis at the point of attack as well as Shreve down the football field, but these guys don't really turn it on high octane unless they have to.
Well, they did in that replay. He shifted into gear to get away from Jarvis Johnson because he was going. You're right. He was gliding. All of a sudden, he was gone. Scary.
They've got gears that I don't know anything.
Never heard of them. Humes is in the backfield as Vick drops the throw. Great effort over there by Hamilton on a poorly thrown ball. And we got a couple players hurt at midfield. Jacob Gibson for Virginia Tech and Berkeley Hutchinson for Rutgers. Hutchinson grabbing at left shin area.
And Gibson looked like it's his back or his hip, the left side.
Somehow they got tangled up. Berkeley Hutchinson, one of the top 5 linebackers in the country when he was coming out of high school in Long Branch, New Jersey.
The injured Rutgers player is
didn't play last year because of academics. They like how he's blended in with this ball club. Take a timeout, 9:04 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Hope both those young men will be up by the time we come back. 28-7 Virginia Tech. Jacob Gibson and Berkeley Hutchinson both walked off the field under their own power. Will Montgomery has replaced Gibson on the offensive line at left guard. 3rd down and long for Marcus Vick. Buying some time. And tripped up, taken down, back at the 44-yard line. There's a sack that may help raise some of the spirits of the Rutgers players as Eddie Grimes picks up the sack.
Sometimes when you have that much elusiveness and that much ability, it works against you. Sometimes you just have to take off and get what you can and maybe make a productive play with your legs. And he was just trying to buy some time to throw it downfield and make a big play, and you get caught sometimes.
First punt today coming up by Vinnie Burns, who's 4th in the Big East. Vinnie, 41.3 yards per kick. He's landed 4 inside the 20, going off the corner left side. Great hang time. And taken by Trez Moses at the 15-yard line. Greg Roberts, boy, I tell you what, he's got the sprinting shoes on. He's up with the Gunners.
Oh,
well,
no.
What's going on with the Gunners?
Well, you said these guys look bored up here, so I came up to talk to Commander Jack Nelson. Not a whole lot of action out of your cannon today, huh?
Oh, there will be.
Jack, how long have you been doing this? What's the history of your cannon?
Well, we've been doing this about 25 some years now. The cannon is the Centennial Cannon, which was donated by the class of 49 on their 20th anniversary in celebration of the 100th anniversary of college football, which started here at Rutgers.
Well, I tell you what, hopefully you guys will get to fire that thing up. One thing I'd like for you to do is point it at John Congemi and shoot it. I heard what he said about me earlier. David, back to you.
I lost him maybe a yard on that play as they get it far side to Moses.
Don't walk in front of that thing, Greg. They're ready to fire it at anything, a completion, something.
Well, Jack, hold on. They want to know more about this cannon. So, and I wanted to show you this. This is just a rope smoldering. What do you do with that?
Well, you take the whole piece up on its little wooden stick, and then you touch it to this, which fires off the charge.
Okay, very good, Commander. David, back to the action.
All right, thank you, Greg. They go to Hairston off the right guard. Not much there as he gets maybe 2 on the play. Jonathan Lewis with Garnell Wilds on the tackle. Debian Lewis made a play earlier, and now we got Ron Green down, the right tackle for Rutgers out of Linden, New Jersey, and Dixie State Junior College.
The injured Rutgers player is tackled Ron Green.
So still a ways to go here for Rutgers. You saw him at Michigan State. You take away what? It was an interception and a kick return that did him in there, right?
Yeah, there was actually 2 big plays on their defense with guys coming out of the backfield, and they were right in that game. It was 21-21 game at halftime. See if we can take a look at Ron Green, 78. Just looks like his legs get buckled right underneath him.
Manning rolled up his back of his leg. Tough break. Seems like old linemen always seem to get hurt in that bang.
Attention, please.
Take a look at some other action in college football. There at Minnesota had trailed 14-0 in Evanston, Illinois against the Wildcats. Florida 7-3. And some of the action there is Ron Green is able to get off the field.
And how lucky were the Gators last week to escape in Kentucky?
Boy, Jarrett Lorenzen tried to make a big play as he was being harassed, and they had him by the shoulder, tried to make a big play, thought he was throwing it out of bounds, and it went right to a Florida player who walked in for a touchdown. Killer play.
That's one thing about Greg Schiano and his staff. You know, it might be 28-7. These guys are going to coach them for 4 quarters.
No doubt
These guys are going to grind it out for 4 quarters.
3rd down and 5 at the 20. Leonard, they were waiting for that play. They were waiting for that play. Outstanding performance by Darrell Tapp, the sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia, one of many. Played mostly on special teams this year in the rotation today with Coles Colas out of action via suspension.
Well, it just seems like Virginia Tech, they just reload. Doesn't matter what 7 or 8 guys are in, you know, that 5-yard box defensively. It's the same player. You can take the names and the numbers off, and you get the same results.
5th punt coming up by Joe Radigan. He's averaged 30.8. Going for a return, a low liner. Hall, nice catch at about the 44. Return left. Can he get to the wall? Penalty flag starting to fall. Lost a yard or 2. Taken down on the play by Nathan Jones. Nate Jones, number 32, special teams performer, all-around football players, a DB as well. 39 yards on the punt. Legal use of the hands is Johnson. Angelo Hall thought he had a big play in front of him. Low liners, the kind you want to return, man. They get down there in a heartbeat. It's a matter of finding the wall then.
Doing the return, illegal block in the back and above the waist. Return team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
They'll back up the Hokies to the 34-yard line. Frank Beamer was talking to him the other day. He had to look for things to be disappointed about.
He was reaching. He was reaching a little bit.
Bryan Randall is back in at quarterback for Tech. He has been outstanding. Berkeley Hutchinson back in at outside linebacker for Rutgers too, which is a good sign. They run up the middle with Jones, and Hutchinson makes the tackle. He's in on the tackle. But look at Jones. He moves the pile to the 40. Picks up about 6. Not bad.
That's that exact play he ran for that touchdown against UConn last week with the end around, and they've got people trying to look, you know, stop the pitch man on the end around, or do I stop it up the middle? And he's got such explosion inside the tackles, and once he's in the open field, man, you're not going to catch Kevin Jones.
Rutgers, believe it or not, open to scoring at the 12:48 mark. Hart, 17-yard pass to Tucker. It's been all Virginia Tech since then. Put up 4 scores in about 12 minutes. Here's Shreve. He had 2 of the scores. And he picks up another 1st down. That'll be in Rutgers territory at the 49-yard line. Right now, let's check out the Hyundai cool facts of the game. Rutgers pretty happy coming into this game with these rushing performances by 6 different players.
Yeah, and they've got guys at different positions now, but you know, the main guys on offense have to be Harrison and Pittman in the backfield, but they have had a lot of guys be successful out of that running back spot.
Those are all career performances, and now penalty against Rutgers.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face, grabbing the face mask. Defense, 15 yards assessed from the end of the run, first down.
What a penalty story, just getting out of hand here for Rutgers. Got off to a great start. Now just a matter they can regain their poise, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, and I think that's what Greg Schiano's doing on the sidelines. He's taking out Alfred Peterson and putting in Lukabu.
But Shreve, 4 catches, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Oh, unbelievable afternoon quarterback and wideout combination.
Doug Eastlick back at fullback. He leads the way for Jones. Look at Jones. Oh, that's unbelievable. Tell you what, remember last week when Greg talked to his father about weight training and everything? His squat numbers must be unbelievable because his leg drive, the first guy that again, the second guy he's through that, and it takes a
Man, we were talking to all the coaches. He's in the best shape of his life this year coming in. They made an improvement out of that. 9 rushes for 47 yards. You get the touchdown and over 5 yards a carry. This guy is a physical specimen. He will initiate the punishment.
Yes, he does. Hamilton in motion. Randall going to drop and throw. That's a heck of an effort to get it off. He did have Eastlick with about a 5-yard gap on Berkeley Hutchinson. Raheem Orr with very good pressure on Randall.
Bryan Randall doing an excellent job of getting rid of the football. That would have been a sack. And there you see again the strength of this football team. We talked about Kevin Jones' strength, but how about the quarterback benching over 450 pounds and running in such a big frame and an athletic player? But that shows you the type of strength he possesses at quarterback, getting out of the would-be tackle and just throwing it away.
Shreve's going to the top of your screen. Why do I get a feeling they're going his direction? He's got 2 touchdowns already, 4 catches, 93 yards. Jacob Gibson is back in on the O-line for Virginia Tech, and now timeout, and they get it in time because the play clock went down to 0. Looks like they did get it. No, they didn't. All right.
Remains third down.
So keep it with Virginia Tech, but just back them up 5 yards, and they're going to bring in Chris Clifton at wideout along with Justin Hamilton.
And he had that touchdown last week on that punt block.
That's
Clifton.
right. Penalties: 4 for 40 for Virginia Tech, 6 for 45 yards for Rutgers. Hamilton and Shreve go to the top of your screen. Clifton and Wilford at the bottom. Good to see Jacob Gibson back in the game on that O-line for Virginia Tech. Third down, long 11. Randall got a man down there. That's close to first down yardage. Justin Hamilton got inside on Brandon Hall. It's just astonishing at how poised Randall is. There's no rush to him at all. 12 yards on the pickup.
And what a great job by Hamilton of getting his body in between the football and the defensive back. Brandon Hall has no play on the football because he has to fight through the back of Justin Hamilton. Terrific throw and a better catch.
12 yards on the pickup, a first down.
Second of the half.
Rutgers calls it second timeout with 4:06 to go here in the second quarter. Randall with a 28-yard pass, 45-yarder to Shreve. Jones with a run, and Imoh with a touchdown pass. Virginia Tech on top.
How you doing?
Hey, a hearty young fan here at Rutgers, 28-7, number 4 ranked Virginia Tech in the house here at Piscataway, and they are putting on a masterful performance. Bryan Randall, 12 of 17 passing, 207, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Jones up the middle, took a big lick. Very good look by Luis Rivas, sophomore from Miami. Got it to the 20-yard line. Pickup of about 5.
And Dave, you know, we haven't been able to mention a lot of the defensive up-front people for Rutgers. That means the offensive line of Virginia Tech has been doing an outstanding job, and I think that's the first time we mentioned Rivas. So, you know, their linebackers have been busy in defensive backs.
I think the operative word is shutout.
Yeah.
O-line is whipping the D-line, plain and simple. Hamilton in motion. Give it to Jones, looking for something on the outside. See how the first guy looked like they had him?
Yeah.
He's remarkable. Piana Lukabu had him by the shoulders, and it made no difference at all. Rivas in on the tackle as well.
And he doesn't always make the first person miss, but he makes him, the arm tackle runs right through it. You know, he can make you miss at the line of scrimmage or the point of attack, but basically he's just using his strength to run by people.
11 carries, 53 yards for Jones at this point. Under 3 to play, 28-7. Tigers hitting for more. 3rd and 5. He'll take 3rd and 5 any day.
I'd like to see Randall maybe break contain after the fake draw here.
No pressure. He's got time. Now Orr from behind does get him finally. Loss of 5 yards. Raheem Orr, his 4th sack of the season. Top tackler in the Big East among defensive linemen coming in today.
And talking to the defensive coordinator Paul Ferraro for Rutgers, Raheem Orr knows how to attack defensive tackles now, and he did a nice job of pursuing Bryan Randall, and that's really the first time they've been able to stop them in scoring position.
41-yard attempt by Carter Worley. He's long, 43. Beasley the holder, Nick Leeson the snapper. High snap, won a great low line drive, plenty of foot, and he hooked it. So the snap was a little bit to Beasley's right and behind him. He did a heck of a job to get it over there and threw out the timing a little bit, but Worley showing a big foot. He hammered that thing. He just hooked it.
Yeah, sure did.
Greg Roberts, what are you up to these days?
Well, David, I want to remind you to be sure to join me for the Big East halftime report coming up. We'll take a look at news and notes from around the Big East football conference. Also, your scores from the Big East and the U.S. Today ESPN Top 25. And first half highlights, stats, and analysis. It's all coming up on the Big East halftime report.
Keep that rain away, big fella.
That's right. He looks good in that warm-up suit, too.
That's it. 2 to go. Worley would like to have that one back. But no harm, no foul. Up 28-7, 2:02 to go here in the first. Oh, boy. If the defender, James Griffin, is watching, he's got 6. Tried to get it to Tucker. Pretty good pursuit or pressure by Sandage and Burchett.
It's tough sledding right now for this Rutgers offense. The field position has been bad after the opening turnover on special teams by Virginia Tech, and as you said, that all you had to do was turn your head around right there and you got 6 points.
I would give the coaches something to say in the meeting.
Yes.
28-7. Oh, that's not good. But Hairston makes something out of it. And he delivered one heck of a lick, didn't he? Who did he run over? Handcake somebody. Oh, get a real good look right here.
A little miscommunication in the backfield. That was probably the biggest collision of the day. And then 21, Harrison just lowers the shoulder down and ran right over Baki. Yeah.
Ooh, man. He knows his name.
That's right.
3rd down and 5. Hart 7 of 15, 79 yards and a touchdown. Get it to Leonard with a yard to go. Second effort got him a first down. Well done. So Leonard very aware of where he was, where he had to go, and he accomplishes the first down.
Yeah, talk about lowering your shoulder after play action. A guy with very sure hands out of the backfield just lowers the boom on the outside to Vincent Fuller and has enough for the first down. And just as Harrison did on the play before, delivering the punishment. You know, getting back to that Miami game a couple nights ago, how about Quincy Wilson delivering the blow?
One of the great plays of this early season, that and the 4th and 13 catch by Winslow. 6th first down of the day for Rutgers. They get it out to Trez Moses. Pick up about 8. Well, Ryan Hart, it doesn't have the big arm, but accurate and a pretty quick release. So they're trying to take advantage of that right now with 1:14 to go and down 28-7.
Dave, it's so important just to get some points on the scoreboard before halftime. Minute 14 left to go. They have not been able to put any plays together back to back. So right now they're moving the football effectively. They need to cash in here.
We got 2 wides, both sides of the field for Hart. Blitz coming, and he threw it away. Ryan Tucker. How about the pressure by Vegas Robinson? And that's, you know, he came out of the starting blocks after giving Hart about a 2-second advantage on 1001, 1002. Here I come.
Well, that's a play you think the quarterback has to check out of, because you can see right here, number 6, he's in position to come. Everybody's crowding the line of scrimmage. You have to have maximum protection, take 3 steps or 5 steps, get rid of the football down the field. Virginia Tech gave man-to-man coverage, nobody in the middle of the field, a lot like right now. Nobody's back here in the middle of the football field.
2 of 7 on 3rd down. Slant pattern, nothing doing there. Flag, yes, sir. Eric Green, a couple of feet ahead of time on covering Trez Moses. Tell you what, Eric Green's got some dreads that'll match. Who's that? Mike McKenzie and
Green Bay
the Packers, and who's it? Al Harris.
Pass interference. Defense.
Eric Green, last week we saw him against Connecticut. Interception, took it all the way home for a touchdown. That was impressive.
Yeah, that was. He looked like a running back when he got his hands on the football.
Familiar territory. 49-yard line of Rutgers. 68 ticks to go here in the first half. All Virginia Tech after the initial success in the first 2 minutes and 13 seconds by Rutgers. Fumble punt set them up. Deep drop. Hart. Look out. Slings it outside. Going to be a hole. Probably going to bring this back. Here's Leonard. Leonard does have some good speed. Shifty moves. He's speedy. Got good size. 6'2", 230. And that's going to be brought back by, guess what? Holding. So that gain, that would have been a first down into Tech territory at the 36. Going to bring it back.
We'll talk to Coach Versteg, the offensive coordinator for Rutgers, and they said they're getting better with their strength up front. And Greg Schiano, the head coach, also echoed that, but they're not where they want to be. And right now, Rutgers just can't handle the front 4 and the front 7. When they put pressure on the quarterback, they can't block them.
Holding offense. 10 yards from the previous spot, remains first down.
Kevin Lewis got a chance to unload on the quarterback. Rutgers 7 penalties, 55 yards. And take a look away from the ball. Trez Moses.
Yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel, because that play is still in motion, and anytime that happens, you're on the football field. You play until the echo of the whistle, whether you're on offense or defense.
Amen. First down and 20. And run Leonard. Oh, another good collision there. Who said this is a contact sport? It's a collision sport. Aaron Rouse with the tackle. Rouse giving up almost 30 pounds to Leonard, but Leonard comes out with a wrist, holding his wrist. Not good.
And the guy that tackled him is playing with 2 broken hands. Aaron Rouse.
Jeez. Bud Foster can easily project Rouse as a starter. He's a redshirt freshman. Brandon Manning's a junior.
We talked about the collision right there, and you can't tell how Bryan hurts his left wrist, but that's what he was holding when he went down to the ground.
He's having a good day. 6 carries, 45 yards, averaging almost 8 yards a pop.
He came into the game with 10 catches.
Yeah.
I like what he's done today.
Absolutely.
It doesn't show up on the scoreboard, Dave, but he's been proficient at what he does.
Tell you what, if his shoulder or wrist, whatever it is ailing him, if he can shake it off, maybe you want to double and triple those touches.
Yeah.
Get him the ball.
Get him the rock.
Hart over the middle, intercepted this time, and we got nothing but green. Jimmy Williams. If Hart catches him, it'll be a miracle. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. Jimmy Williams, a sophomore from Hampton, Virginia. His first career interception came against Rutgers in last year. This one covers 55 yards.
He's known as the big hitter in that defensive backfield along with Michael Crawford, and you're going to get hit with a celebration diving into the end zone. But right at this point, it's really so what? 34-7 Virginia Tech, and Reinhardt just trying to fit the football in down the middle, but Jimmy Williams, great anticipation for the interception, and then he shows you the little splash through the end zone.
Third INT, John Smith all over that. I got to tell you something. Guy's going to stop that when somebody comes up and loses a season with a broken wrist, shoulder, or elbow. Pick one. You know? I mean, it looks good on the highlights.
Yeah.
Just score, okay?
I agree with you, partner.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, going to back it up. The 16-second mark here in the second quarter for Virginia Tech is impressive. You make any kind of a mistake, they're pouncing. PAT is going to come from 35 yards out. Worley's a good kicker. Snap is good. Play. They can take this back for 2 points. What are they doing? It's college football, right?
Yeah.
Well, last week we saw Eric Green get an interception. And what did he do? He took it to the end zone. Jimmy Williams did it today. This was against Connecticut a week ago.
When he showed you the speed and he just cuts back from right to left last week against UConn, and he goes the distance for the touchdown. But watch, after he gets into the end zone, he slings it into the stands. And it's a lot like what just happened, you know, today with the splash into the end zone, the dive.
Greg, pick up the story from there.
Hey, Dave, Eric Green took that pick, 84 yards, scored a touchdown. You saw him throw it. He said Frank Beamer could only be mildly upset about him tossing it into the crowd because back in the late 60s when Beamer was a DB for the Hokies, he picked one off against Richmond and did the exact same thing. He threw it into the crowd. Well, Green said that Beamer told him, come on, Eric, act like you've been in the end zone before. He said, Coach, I've never been there.
34-7 Virginia Tech, 16 seconds to go.
The perfectionist that Coach Beamer is, he probably said if you're going to throw it, at least throw a spiral. He threw a knuckleball up there.
We talked about the multiple ways that Virginia Tech can score, and let's see we've seen a run, a couple of passes, a run, now a pick. Oh, that's going to be recovered by Tech. How about that?
Yeah, got it.
Absolutely. He had a low line driver, Beamer ball again. They know how to get it done with the special teams. That was beautifully done. Tap recovered. Oh, you get a great look right here.
There's not a lot you can do with this. Oh, it hit him right in the knee, it looked like.
Yes, sir.
One of the up guys on that special teams
46. Yeah, it hit right off of Jerome Baker, backup wide receiver. I guess he's figuring, hey, I'm going to go back, and the next thing I know, the guy gets drilled on the right knee.
And that's a knuckleball coming at you. There's really nothing you can do about it. It looked like he was paying attention. He just didn't turn his back and get into a blocking mode. That's a tough play if you're up front on that wall.
Randall's in. Let's see if they try to get one to Wilford. Dropped one opportunity. Blitz is picked up, and Raheem Moore with his second sack of the day with help from William Beckford. Takes Virginia Tech back to the 37-yard line with 2 seconds, 1 second, and they're going to let it go. They were going to hang one up high to Wilford. They had to do a little Hail Mary action, try to work on that play. But if you're on the coaching staff for Virginia Tech, you got nothing to be. What do you pick to get to say anything? Hey, boys, good job.
Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, I think we've improved on what we didn't want to play looking at the scoreboard and looking at the time on the clock. We wanted to play every play like it was your last. That's what they did today.
Outstanding performance. 21 points in the first quarter. Come back with another 13 here in the second for a 34-7 halftime lead. When we come back, Greg Roberts will take you through halftime scores, highlights, and other information from Rutgers. 34-7, fourth-ranked Hokies in command.
We've reached the half here in Piscataway, New Jersey, where Chris Shreve, with 2 touchdowns, is leading the Virginia Tech Hokies. It's Virginia Tech on top at the break, 34-7. Welcome back to Piscataway, everybody, home of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Have had their hands full here in the first half with Frank Beamer and his 4th-ranked Virginia Tech Hokies. Again, 34-7 is our score. Let's take a look at other happenings around the Big East Conference. We start with this week's Big East Offensive Player of the Week, Larry Fitzgerald of the Pittsburgh Panthers, the sophomore. Awesome against Texas A&M, 3 touchdown catches in Pittsburgh's 37-26 win against the Aggies. He is the leading receiver in the nation. Justice Hairston from right here at Rutgers. He led the Scarlet Knights offense in a 48-27 win over Navy. Just a true freshman. Made his first start, scored 4 touchdowns, and finished with 161 yards rushing. They were the offensive players of the week. Here is the defensive player of the week, Thomas Whitfield from Syracuse. Syracuse, they beat Toledo 34-7 in Whitfield. 8 tackles, including 4 solo tackles. He had 2 tackles for losses, and he also shared a sack. They are our Big East standouts. Let's take a look at the Big East football scoreboard. And last week, Virginia Tech all over UConn, 47-13. Hokies just keep trucking right along. BC big over Ball State, 53-29. And it was the Temple Owls coming up just a little bit short against Louisville. There's Walt Harris and the Pittsburgh Panthers. They rolled at Texas A&M. Syracuse flexing its muscles. They beat Toledo 34-7. And Rutgers with the impressive win over Navy, 48-27. Also Thursday night, what a heartbreaker for Rich Rodriguez and the Mountaineers. They thought they had number 2 Miami beaten on the road at Miami, but Kellen Winslow converts that big 4th down, and Miami comes back to kick a field goal and win it at the end of the ball game. Coming up later tonight, the Temple Owls are in action. At the half, Virginia Tech leading Rutgers 34-7. This is the Big East halftime report. We're coming back with more right after this. We've reached the half here at Rutgers University. The rain has stopped, but the Hokies are storming on the Scarlet Knights. 34-7 is our score. Of course, after 4 straight home games, this is Virginia Tech's first road game as Big East Conference play is beginning to swing into full gear. Speaking of that, coming up next week, be sure to join us when we take our act down to Morgantown, West Virginia, as the Rutgers Scarlet Knights take on Rich Rodriguez and the West Virginia Mountaineers. It's our Big East game of the week, and it'll kick off at noon on most of these Big East stations. College football from ESPN+. Every game is a must-win. And I tell you, when you need to win football games, you want this guy on the field. Number 6, Grant Wiley, the outstanding senior for the West Virginia Mountaineers, a 4-year starter, Big East Rookie of the Year, and now he's wrapping up his career with West Virginia, and he'll need to provide some leadership for that football team as they look to pick themselves up after that heartbreaking loss Thursday night at Miami. Here's a look at what's coming up next Saturday for Big East football action. Rutgers, West Virginia, that's our game. We invite you to join us. Look forward to seeing you. Also, these Virginia Tech Hokies, they have a noon kickoff. They're back in Blacksburg to take on a good Syracuse team. Number 2 Miami, after surviving against West Virginia, they're on the road at Florida State for a big one down in the Sunshine State. Boston College in Temple, that's a 3:30 game. You can find that on ESPN+ and your game plan. And the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, they travel into Pittsburgh to take on Walt Harris, Rod Rutherford, Brandon Myree, and Larry Fitzgerald as the Pittsburgh Panthers look to build on that big win against Texas A&M. Let's take a look at your scoreboard, and we start with the ESPN USA Today Top 25 scoreboard. Number 8, Nebraska just getting underway with Troy State. Cornhuskers lead it by a field goal. Minnesota and Northwestern. Minnesota has the advantage there at the half, 21-17. The Gators of Florida taking on Mississippi, and right now Ronnie Zook and the Gators lead it 14-10. They are in the second quarter. All right, as the Big East halftime report rolls on, I want to invite you to come back because we will rejoin Dave Sims and John Congemi with first half highlights, stats, and analysis. That's all coming up. The Virginia Tech Hokies, they are absolutely making a big splash here, leading Rutgers 34-7.
We continue with our halftime here from Piscataway, New Jersey, where the 4th-ranked Virginia Tech Hokies have a commanding lead, 34-7, over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Very impressive performance in the first 30 minutes of play. Glad you could join us, everybody. John Congemi, Dave Sims, and I got the first question I got to ask you: if you're Greg Schiano and his staff, what the heck do you take out of the first half, and what can we learn in the second half?
Well, it's definitely an uphill battle. And you have to take out some of the positives. They did a good job of trying to get to the quarterback. They capitalize right off the bat. They get a punt, they get a fumble, they cash in for a touchdown.
Right.
They have to be more consistent, and I think it's all starts up front on both sides of the football. Their offensive line needs to create some toughness. They have to get a little bit more physical, and they're running the football effectively in spurts. It's very sporadic. It's not consistent. Brian Hart needs to protect the football. Even in a situation like that, trying to get a score before halftime, don't force it down the middle, and that's what happened.
Brian Leonard did run pretty effectively. Raheem Moore had 2 sacks, 2 of the 3 sacks by Rutgers. That was impressive, but it was all Virginia Tech in the first 30 minutes. As we take a look at the highlights, how about the cool, calm, collected quarterback Bryan Randall?
I think he's playing terrifically today. He's done a great job of putting the football on target with a lot of velocity. And Shreve has done an excellent job of catching the football. And you can't say enough about KJ in the backfield doing an excellent job. He's showing his speed and strength on the perimeter. And Mike Imoh, he gets it in from 10 yards. Just a little shake move at the 5-yard line, lowers his shoulders in. And then the interception. This was the killer for Rutgers. Just when you're trying to get into decent field position, trying to score before halftime, Jimmy Williams comes up with a terrific anticipation and gets the interception and gets on the board for Virginia Tech's defense.
34-7 the score. As we take a look at the Saturn first half statistics, 209 passing yardage, just about all of that from Randall, 91 for Rutgers. Those are the numbers that really jump out at you. 14-7 to first downs, but they've just made big plays. And one of the things we always talk about when you have a big underdog situation, Rutgers, can they hit on some big plays? They hit on the one big play, the Hart touchdown pass after the fumble punt.
They just have to do a better job of being efficient offensively. They have to move the football, get a couple first downs, and then don't give it away.
See what Rutgers comes out with, trailing 34-7 to the number 4 team in the country. Virginia Tech, very impressive today here at the birthplace of college football, Piscataway, New Jersey. We'll return with the second half kickoff. Tech's going to get it right after this. Welcome back, everybody. 34-7. Virginia Tech dominating performance. Bryan Randall. Last week he told us the game is slowing down for him. Yeah, it is.
It's at a crawl today.
He sees everything. He's not rushed under pressure. They did sack him 3 times. But, I mean, as you see a lot of guys, quarterbacks go back there, happy feet. He's not dancing around. He's back there. He's stout in the pocket. And as he said, too, his offensive line probably would have hit a couple sacks today, but coming in, they didn't have any breakdowns.
No, and he knows that going back. And, you know, Frank Beamer has supreme confidence in what he can do as a quarterback. And, you know, really, during the spring practice and during the fall practice and summer, they've done such an excellent job of really coaching him up to know the next step. You know, he's progressed on the next step. He's not worried about what he's doing. He's looking at defensively, how can I beat the other team? And that guy right there, Shreve, he's done an excellent job of stepping up. They had a couple injuries in the wide receiver area. He stepped up and made some huge plays today.
His first touchdown, I got a kick out of the fact that they got D'Angelo Hall in there, had an absolute gift wrap TD. He dropped it. Next play to go to Shreve, he gets a 6.
Just getting close to him. He's going to come down with it.
Michael Cortez is going to kick it off here, start the second half. He kicks it deep. And he backs up Cedric Holmes at about the 1. 10, 15, 21-yard line. Decent coverage by Rutgers. Dondre Asbury tripped him up. Put yourself in Frank Beamer's shoes right now. Your guy, look at it. He's only missed 5 passes. He's got 3 touches and a pick, 207 yards. Mindset now, just play slam ball and kill as much clock as you can, or what?
Well, I think they want to come out and act like the score is 0-0 for one drive. They want to come out and try to run their offense, do what they did a lot in the first half, but then maybe get them out of there.
Shreve in motion. Jones gets a carry and runs over Gilkison, the middle linebacker. I saw Jim Weaver earlier, and I said, you guys need to start keeping, Jim Weaver, the athletic director of Virginia Tech, I said, you guys need to start keeping a stat what Jonesy gets after first contact.
Yeah.
Because here's a guy, every time he touches a ball, first guy that touches him, he gets, even in close quarters, gets another 3-4 yards.
He's always going north and south. He's always falling forward, and that's a sign of a great back.
He had a big day, 133 yards against Rutgers last season. Second down play. Very generous quarterback gives it to Jones, and you see that? He put his shoulder into Nate Jones and drove ahead 3 more yards. Got it to the 42-yard line. What a performance. 17 yards on the run. There's that guy, Doug Easley, New Jersey guy, back in town, back in his home state. And he gets a piece of 2 guys. Great block.
Yeah, that's the double pancake on the outside, and that's the workmanlike attitude he brings to that fullback position. He's always the first guy there doing his assignment, doesn't really get a lot of credit for it except in that family on the sidelines.
13 carries, 73 yards for Jones. And again, not much of a gain there, but he got hit, which would have been a negative
2 yard.
play.
Yeah, it should have been a 2-yard loss. He turns into maybe a 1-yard gain.
So a short yard on that one. Keanu Lukabu, junior from Avenel, New Jersey, with the tackle, number 39.
And this is the attitude I thought Virginia Tech would come out with, Dave. A lot of the same plays we saw in the first couple series. They're attacking Rutgers the exact same way they started the football game.
D'Angelo Hall in the game, bottom of your screen there, 3-way player. Wolford at the top. Play action, looking for Wolford. I thought they'd try to go to him, and they do. And over the other shoulder, he was looking inside. Coverage by Brandon Hall. Wolford in that physical mold of Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. Thankfully, he's not behaving like Terrell Owens.
That's right.
I don't think Brian Steinspring would probably take too much lip from him if he.
No, not at all.
We saw what T.O. did last week. But a very impressive receiver, kind of target you want to feed him. They go 4 wides here on this 3rd down and 9 about the 42. Inside Hamilton, first down. He's in Rutgers territory at the 42-yard line. And he beat Derek Roberson on that play. Just a quick slant. It was wide open for 15.
Same play they moved the chains on late in the 2nd quarter. Just a quick slant on the outside to Justin Hamilton. He's a big, imposing target going out there, and he does a nice job of making himself a huge target on the inside. That's tough to do sometimes. You get inside in traffic, catch the football, move the chains. He's done it twice today.
Shreve will be to Randall's left, and boy, there's some movement there, slightly premature. Got an injured Rutgers player. I think that's a player that late in the first half, that line drive knuckleball onside kick, Jerome Baker hit off of his leg.
Dead ball, offsides, defense, contact foul, 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
So Harley doesn't like that. David Harley
doesn't agree with that. There's 330 pounds of that man right there that does not agree with that call.
Paul Ferraro, the D coordinator for Rutgers, said that the young man's pretty strong and he's got a great future.
He's hard to move. The only way you can move him is on a penalty.
That's right. 1st and 5 for Tech. Mike Imoh in the slot, top of your screen. They run the option. They take away the pitch man. Berkeley Hutchinson does a good job, but here's Randall going for a 1st down yardage. Brian Durango had a shot and came up with air. Raheem Moore tracked him down from the other side.
The one thing that's impressive about Virginia Tech, they can stretch you vertically with speed, but they can also stretch you horizontally with speed. They just take it to the outside, and my pitch man's lost, but I can beat you on the corner as well. Great blocking on the perimeter. The offensive line doing a nice job, and at the edge, they do a great job of gaining the edge on the outside.
1st and 10 for Virginia Tech at the 30. Imoh. Jones stumbled.
Ran out of his shoe, I think. Somebody did.
But Jones with a rare loss on a carry. First loss today. Matter of fact, there's Kenny Harley coming off with a shoe. Is that his?
Yeah, that's his. He got Kevin Jones and a shoe.
If it was Jones's shoe, I'd have run off with it too. You're killing us.
Back.
I hope you brought extra.
Throw it to the cannon and shoot it.
Under 12 to play, 3rd quarter. It's Imoh in motion. Play fake, pretty good time. Throw it to Imoh in the flat. Picks up about 6 to the 24-yard line. Brought down by Brandon Hall. Boy, that's a good-looking operation. Keeps the clock going.
That was a nice pick play, and it was all set up by Chris Shreve. He was the guy that ran up the field about 10 yards, and Imoh just ran right off of his backside into the flat. Good timing in the pass offense, and that's the one thing I've noticed today with Bryan Randall. Last week their timing was just a hair off. Today he's been on top of his game.
Hamilton and Shreve at the bottom of your screen. I got Wilford up top with Clifton. Randall, nice catch. Wilford takes a lick. Good for the first down to the 16-yard line. Picks up about 9. Jason Nugent with the hit. But nice hand grab, great grab with the hands, a la Larry Fitzgerald at University of Pittsburgh.
You got that right. Great acceleration to get to the football, and thank goodness Ernest is 6'4", because he used all of his frame to get there, and he knew Jason Nugent, number 33, the free safety, was waiting for him down the middle. Today, 3 for 31, and he's got that average up around 10.3. He's averaging around 12 yards per catch on the season.
Another guy makes great catches with those hands is Kellen Winslow Jr. What a catch he made Thursday night. Here's Jones, inside handoff. That catch he made to this point has saved the Miami season.
There's no question about it.
Peterson and Rivas on the tackle. I made 3rd and 13, game over if West Virginia can get a stop.
Yeah, and really the ball wasn't close.
Yeah.
I mean, he went up to get the football, turned his body completely around, and comes down and hangs on, and it leads to a field goal and a Miami victory.
Miami's in trouble.
They're in big trouble right now.
After, Frank Gore goes down again, season over. You got Virginia Tech hosting Miami this year. You could see Tech getting him. You could see Pitt getting him this year. 9th play of this drive. Toss play. Easlick with a pretty good block, but not a bad defensive play by Jarvis Johnson, the strong safety. Fought through it and got a piece of Jones.
Yeah, you can see the fullback going, are you kidding me? I thought I put Jarvis Johnson on his back, and he made the play. That's a great job defensively, and a good effort by the fullback. Easlick goes down to cut him, but he just eludes him. Just a little sidestep, and Jarvis Johnson, you drop your head sometimes as a fullback, and you miss those DBs, and sometimes you miss them completely, and Jarvis Johnson did an excellent job.
Next time, Doug's not in there right now, but next time he is, stand by for a collision. Guess whose number he wants?
The horns are coming through the helmet.
Here's Imoh in motion on a 3rd down play. Randall with time again. Flush, throws, ends zone wide open. Wow is right. Goodness gracious.
Bryan Randall, you are the man today.
Poise like a 15-year veteran. Imoh with the touchdown catch. Mike's 2nd today and the 4th today by Randall. That one covering 10 yards. Very impressive offensive machine.
Just a broken play, and it's all keeps it alive is Bryan Randall's ability within the pocket to buy time and find a receiver in the end zone.
Carter Worley. We got a kick out of watching him in warm-ups last week, hitting from 60. Peasley did a super job on a bad snap. Peasley, Robert Peasley, great job. Mike Imoh with yet another score. Here's Bryan Randall, the example of that poise. Look at that, not rushed, in control. He knows where his people are. Mike Imoh couldn't have been more open. 41-7, Virginia Tech. Well, in the immortal words of one of my favorite comedians, Robert Klein, the Cannonade crew just watching.
There's not much going on over there, boys.
41-7 Virginia Tech over Rutgers. Total yards 347 to $150. Coming over to get it. Oh, now they battle for it. They're picked up by Jones. Looking for some room. Nate Jones squirts through. Pretty good team speed by Virginia Tech. Finally taken down by Nolan Burchett. And Jones comes up at Allen, limping there.
Yeah, the play on the touchdown was just a simple pick play on the outside. Imoh going outside, and Shreve right there. He's going to pick for Imoh to get to the outside and get leverage. You can see him on the outside. He's open initially, but Bryan Randall was busy eluding people in the pocket, but he had enough presence of mind to know where Imoh was going to be. And this is a guy that's no stranger to touchdowns. He was the State of Virginia Player of the Year his senior year in high school, so this guy knows how to get in the end zone.
Boy, he had that DB in no man's land.
Yeah.
Here's Hairston off the left side. Picks up a couple. Darrell Tapp with the tackle. Imoh completes that drive. 12 plays, 79 yards, 535. How about Randall? 4-5 on that drive. 4 touchdown passes today.
Dave, did you say 347 total yards?
347
into the third quarter.
Yep.
Wow.
Mike Imoh had an earlier 10-yard TD pass from Randall. Made it 28-7 with 13:50 to go in the second period. Ryan Hart outside. side, and that goes to Faison. Picks up about 4 on the play. Covered by Michael Crawford. Nathaniel Adibi. Guess what? More pressure and put a lick on the quarterback.
Ryan Hart knows Adibi up and down by the end of this day today because he's been in the backfield harassing Ryan Hart. It's only his 9th start, in his career.
Right.
To his credit, he's done a nice job of hanging in there because he's been under duress all afternoon.
Adibi, second team All Big East last season, a senior out of Hampton, Virginia. On the delay, Leonard back in. Second ever got the first down. Nicely done to the 39. Leonard is clearly the player with the best juice offensively for Rutgers today.
Dave, and you said it earlier, I like him. I like him with his hands on the football because he makes things happen. And Ryan Hart, 50%, almost approaching 100 yards, but the 3 interceptions would killing his performance today. But I like Leonard. He can catch the football in the backfield. You give it to him in the open field. He's got that second, third gear.
Runs hard too. Hairston and Leonard in the backfield. Hairston gets a call. Good stick by Vegas Robinson, number 6. Adibi was in there. The key was there as well. Yeah, you always hear coaches swarm to the ball, swarm to yeah, okay, all right. These guys swarm to the ball.
These guys have got a hornet's nest on every play. And getting back to Rutgers, they wanted to be tougher up front. They wanted to be more physical of a running football team. And they've done a better job of it, but they're still not at the point where they can go out and beat teams in the Big East and expect to do it running the football. 2nd and 10. You think Bud Foster brings some heat here? I don't think so.
Okay, up the middle. Ooh, boy, there's a stick. Manning was in there head-to-head with Hairston. One thing, when you play Virginia Tech, I mean, they're not arm tackling.
No.
They will hit you.
Put a hat on a hat, and let's see who's standing at the end of the day. And when you've got the brothers inside, the Lewis brothers and Bud Foster, he's relentless. I like him. If you're a defensive player, you can play for that man right there because he will get you prepared. He will get you ready to play. And look at the Twin Towers inside, the big guys, 56 and 70. They're just enormous, imposing figures.
He will prepare you to legally smack people upside the head for 60 minutes. That's all there's to it. I mean, his intensity is infectious. Williamson moved a little bit, and that's another reason, another key to the success of Virginia Tech. Continuity. I mean, the staff, these guys have been together for a lot of years.
And they recruit kids that know they can fit in their system and play for them. A lot of guys aren't after, guys that have 4 or 5 different scholarship opportunities to go to Ohio State, Michigan. It's VMI or Virginia Tech, and that was the case for Jake Grove. Where am I going to go?
False start. Offense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
Mike Williamson, we believe he was the one that moved a little bit. Why? Because Nathaniel Adibi is playing opposite him. He's going, hey, I better get any kind of edge I can get.
He's got him leaning on his heels, that's for sure.
Let's check in with Greg Roberts more on those Lewis brothers.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you about Kevin and Jonathan Lewis, brothers who anchor Tech's defensive line. I saw their dad last week, and I said, do you miss your boys? They live over in Richmond, Virginia. Do you miss not having those 2 big fellas in the house? He said, are you kidding me? He said, I don't have to feed those rascals anymore. Oh, back to you, Dave.
Big play down the far sideline. Best play of the day for Rutgers. Jerry Andre with his 6th catch of the year. He's out of Hialeah, Florida. Beat Manning down the sideline. It's a bright spot for Rutgers.
Well, they talk about Ryan Hart. When he has time, he can become a very accurate passer, and he doesn't have a gun, but he's got a strong enough arm to throw this pass down the football field and be right on target, and that's what happened. But the key was the offensive line. They gave him time to throw the football.
45 yards on the pickup. Hairston is back in at the running back. Tucker and Moses are the split backs. Here comes split receivers, Moses in motion, and they run the Hairston the other side. About a 2-yard pickup. Kevin Lewis was there, along with Michael Crawford.
Well, you said it earlier, Dave, run to the football, pursuit of the football. That's exactly what number 70, Kevin Lewis, did on that play. They're running from behind to catch up.
Let's give Greg a chance to finish up on that story.
Okay, what I was telling you, I asked Mr. Lewis, do you miss your 2 little boys, your 2 cuddly little cute sons? He said, are you kidding me? He said, no, I don't have to feed those big rascals anymore. That's now Frank Beamer's problem.
6'1", 292, both of them putting in the same numbers. 8th play of this drive for Rutgers. Time for Hart, finds a man, Pilch has got it, and he dropped it. Actually, it was the other tight end, Chris Loomis. Chris Loomis out of Maple Shade, New Jersey. A couple exits down the road here from Rutgers.
They had good separation. They had Leonard in the flat, and they have the tight end coming deep. So there's a guy on an island. There's a good separation there, but the ball just needed to be a little bit more touch. Good play coming off. I would have taken the easy throw in the flat right there and try to move the sticks for third down. You have an easier situation for third down. That time, Reinhardt decides to go up. It had to be a perfect throw to fit it in there, and they just don't come down with it.
Rutgers 4 of 9 on third down. They need one here. Hart in trouble. Down he goes. What a great inside move to get free. How about Nolan Burchett? He put on a move on the offensive lineman to shake free with an inside route, and that was your ball game.
Well, you talk about cycling these guys in, 7, 8 guys up front. And Burchett, number 96, coming in off the edge. Right off the high side. See him come in and loop underneath. That was a terrific move on the outside by Nolan. He comes outside, gives you the speed rush, then he dips that shoulder underneath and comes in and gets the sack.
Justin Mysick from 43 yards. Snaps good. It's blocked. Another one today. Beamer ball coming through again. Jeremy, check that. Let's see. Jeff King, back up tight end, blocked that one.
Oh, and you love that if you're on that sideline. They take so much pride in special teams.
Frank Beamer, his team, number 4 in the country this week, proving it and then some today. Top of Rutgers. Just want to clarify, Virginia Tech, that was their first block. Rutgers had a block on a long point after the interception return by Williams. So here's young Mr. Vic, Marcus Vic, in at quarterback with Cedric Humes and Eastlick in the backfield. Play fake, going for it all. He's got Wilford. They've been trying to feed him. Oh, what a catch at the 40. No flags. First down, Virginia Tech. He beat Brandon Hall. Great adjustment on a poorly thrown ball.
Yeah, an underthrow actually, and it looked like Ernest Wilford mistimed his jump. He wanted to gather his feet to get up and get the football, but it looked like he stumbled right at the end. He stumbles right there, actually contact with Brandon Hall, but great concentration to come up with the ball. Actually, it was a better thing that the ball was underthrown. He was able to make an easier catch.
35-yard gain. How about Vic? Didn't even step into that throw.
Yeah, just sling it out there.
Cedric Humes is the deep back. I think Jones's day is over. Humes, brought down by the shirt grab of Raheem Moore, showing some strength there at 6'4", 280. Hey, Rutgers was getting ready for that field goal a few minutes ago. We'll show you what happened. They're ever-ready guys at the cannonade.
Well, they were manning the post. They were all in place. Everybody had a position, and they were ready to go.
3:15 and counting here in the third. Rutgers got the first score of the game, had a 7-0 lead. Avalanche since then. And Vic didn't like while the play clock was winding down. I think he just beat the clock to get a first down. 3 minutes exactly left, third quarter. Take a timeout as Marcus Vic gets things straight with Kevin Rogers. Virginia Tech, 3 minutes to go, third period. Marcus Vic got the Hokies in a huddle ready to go here after calling a timeout. Let that play clock wind down. So it burned a timeout. Second down from the 38-yard line of Rutgers. Vic back to throw, flushed out. Stays alive, throws it, and trying to get it to Eastlick, who had a step on a defender, and it's intercepted. They needed that play. Rutgers will take anything they can get right now. Terry Bynes with the interception. Eastlick did have a step, had about 3 steps on him.
Yeah, he did, and actually it was the same situation Marco was in earlier in the game. He just tries to do a little bit too much. He's got a chance to escape and maybe use his legs, but he throws it up and just underthrows the football. He did a great job of escaping, but all he had to do was throw the football a little bit more air underneath it, and he's got Eastlick probably for a touchdown.
3 turnovers for both clubs today. Rutgers with a long field in front of them from the 13-yard line. Call it the 12, first and 10. Play clock really got down quickly. Leonard is the deep back, and they get it outside to Marcus Daniels. And Daniels takes it up to about the 20-yard line. He's a freshman from Miami Central High School in Miami, Florida. Other action, Troy State out of Alabama on the road at Nebraska. Minnesota was down 14-zip at one point. Florida with the lead against Eli Manning and the Rebs down at the Swamp. Some of the scores going on in top 25 action. Second down, 2. Leonard gets the call straight up the middle, and Vegas Robinson brings him down. It's a first down for Rutgers at the 24-yard line. We'll give it to a lot of these fans for hanging in here.
Yeah, it's not a pretty raw day outside, to tell you the truth. And they've done a nice job of coming out and supporting their home team. And the Hokies brought a lot of fans as well.
Tell you what, on the far side, the Hokies, I think they brought several bus loads. And I think a lot of folks within a 2, 3, 4-hour drive said, hey, why not?
Yeah, that's football crazy down there. That's a fun place to go and watch a football game.
I couldn't agree more. And boy, when they're finished with that ballpark next year, that's really good. So there's Leonard scrapping his way for about a yard. Like Tim Sandage was in there on the tackle. Isaac Montgomery as well getting some playing time right now as Bud Foster is emptying the bench. A lot of guys going to get some playing out. Charlie Wiles, the defensive line coach.
Yeah, a lot of guys with clean jerseys in the ball game right now.
Coming up on a minute to go here in the third. Second and long. Hart, nice comeback to get that. Trez Moses going to be about a half-foot short, maybe a half-foot short of a first down. Had to get across the 35. He's just shy of the 35-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 1.
Dave, when Reinhardt has time to get back, hit his 5th step, step up and throw the football, I like what he does. Good decision maker, accurate passer. There was a small window to fit that football into, and Trez Moses comes back to the football. So a lot of good things, a lot of coaching points that you can see Greg Schiano and his staff, they understand how to do it. It's just up front is where they're struggling.
Got to give him time.
Got to give him time.
Hart 13 of 24, 156, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Got 2 tight ends in the game, and they slam it off left tackle. Look at the strength of this Virginia Tech ball team. I mean, that's a free safety, Jimmy Williams, and he's wrapping up Justice Hairston, who's 6'1", 210. Jimmy goes 6'3", 213. I mean, that's pretty impressive on your free safety.
Yeah.
doing a lockjaw on you.
Between Jimmy Williams and Michael Crawford, those two guys can really hit you, and they run real well for big guys. As you said, Jimmy 6'3", 217. Michael 5'11", 202. But both these guys run so well sideline to sideline. They can react to the run just as well as react to the pass.
First down was picked up. Hairston 13 carries for 31 yards. Had a big number last week, went for 161 against Navy. Hart in trouble, screen, gets it to Leonard. Cuts against the grain. Nice job, picks up 8 to the 47-yard line. Rutgers showed a little bit of signs of life here on the offense. Moments ago, you know, the Cannon guys were ready to go to work, but they missed the field goal right here. And look at their reaction up on the hill to our right. All right, let's go. It's going to be a 3-pointer, light it up, and jeez. Fourth quarter coming up. Six in attendance here at Rutgers Stadium. Big East football game of the week. Dave Sims, John Kinjemi, and Greg Roberts as we start the fourth quarter. Second down and short here for Rutgers, and they go to Leonard up the middle. He's very effective. Gotta like that second and third effort in the Tech territory to the 44.
You gotta like
46.
Yeah, Dave, you gotta like everything about 23. I think you know, more guys with the R on their helmet should take a look at Leonard and say that's the way I want, you know, our players to play. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. This guy has been bringing it every time he's touched the football, and the good thing is he plays without the football. He blocks, he does everything,
right,
you know, you ask of that position.
Numbers through 3. Not real pretty for Rutgers. Moses in motion, going to the far side. Blitz picked up. Get it out to Leonard. Nice catch. 40. Moses with a decent block. Gave him a little bit of an alley to squirt through for a first down. 35-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Jimmy Williams and Vegas Robinson on the tackle.
I think Craig Versteeg likes him as well. The offensive coordinator for Rutgers. Let's feed 23 because this is the guy that's making plays. He's doing an excellent job on the perimeter, catching the football, puts it underneath his right arm, and then initiates contact. And that's a fullback stream right there.
Big part of the success of that play, the tailback Justice Hairston threw super block in there too. Bought Hart some more time. First down play. Hairston made something out of nothing there. Took it to the 31-yard line. Picked up 4. Vegas Robinson there on the tackle. Help from James Griffin, a junior out of Memphis, number 22.
Boy, it's got to be a formidable task for Rutgers. You know, they haven't stepped up in the playing of a Virginia Tech all year. Now they get the 4th-ranked team coming in, and they've been relentless, and they've been overmatched on the line of scrimmage. So and that's where football starts. If you can't win there, you're not going to win on the perimeter. You're not going to win downfield.
A lot of that could be attributed to battle of the strength programs.
Yeah, you're right.
Hart got it in there to Andre. Jerry Andre with another catch today. I believe that's his second. Jerry's a junior out of Miami Lakes. He's 10 yards on that pickup. Jerry played 11 of 12 games a year ago. Had 8 catches, and including a 35-yarder against Virginia Tech.
Like what I saw there from Ryan Hart. He gets back, had a little hop in his step, steps in, and really delivers a bullet on the outside to Andre.
Andre goes to Hart's left on this play. A 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line of Virginia Tech. Hairston trying to get to the edge. Great block by number 23. Leonard opens the door. Touchdown, Hairston. Clark Harris also a great block, 21 yards out. Well, they sealed that edge, and the Cannon guys get to do some work. Boy, Leonard to a super block. Great read by Hairston. Timed it beautifully. Following up the block. Watch this.
Great patience by the running back and terrific block. You could hear it come right through the screen. Just a great block at the point of attack by the fullback, Bryan Leonard.
Here's music for the point after. Ted Trump, the holder, and he bangs it through. So Hairston, 15 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown. Let her rip, fellas. Let her rip. 41-14 early on in the 4th.
Just fire that thing.
It takes satisfaction in last possession. They had a good operation, a 21-yard touchdown run by Hairston. 11 plays, 88 yards, 4:54 off the clock here. Uphill battle, building the program here. 3-1 Rutgers against 4-0 Virginia Tech. 7th straight year for Tech to begin the season. 4-0 as they are en route to going 12-1 in Big East Open. Mike Imoh already got 2 scores to his credit. Nice move to get outside. 30-yard line, and boy, he is a nifty little guy. Mike Imoh. Saw him with a score last week. The kicker forced him out of bounds. Michael Cortez. We thought Mr. Leonard was very, very impressive in that last drive. Let's take a look at his work.
Well, he did a little bit of everything, Dave, just running between the tackles. You see him get his pad level down. He can catch the football out of the backfield. He came into the game with 10 catches for 163, and then the block. Just a terrific block on the outside. You can hear the collision as Harrison goes in untouched for the touchdown.
Well, he put a facial on. He and the tight end put a facial on that DB coming up. Here's young Mr. Vick looking to throw. Intercepted, maybe 6 here. It's Jarvis Johnson down the sideline. He's going to go. Touchdown, Rutgers. 47 yards on the return. First interception this season for Jarvis Johnson. Well, that was impressive.
That was very impressive. Great timing by Jarvis Johnson to come underneath that pass and take it to the house. That'll wake up some people around here.
Vick looking for the string to pull that one back. I'm sure as he released it. It's his second career interception. 0 for 2, 2 picks.
Yeah, the last two, right?
Last two throws. And Rutgers Scarlet Knights going to go for deuce here, trailing 41-20. Got a feeling Leonard's going to touch it.
Yeah, absolutely, in the short side of the field.
Leonard out in the pattern.
Got him.
He's wide open. Will he get in? And he gets it. He so gets it, it's unbelievable. He knew he was short. Keep fighting, get in, make no doubt about it.
Well, he gets hit at the 1-yard line, Dave, but he has enough presence to keep his feet and get into the end zone. What an effort by Leonard. He gets in for the 2-point conversion. Just a simple flat play out to the right side. Watch the effort right there. He gets hit at the 1-yard line, but his toughness gets into the end zone.
So Vincent Fuller was the one he ran through.
The try is good.
The penalty's on Virginia Tech. So 12:39 to go. Signs of life here. As Rutgers scored, Hairston on the 21-yard run at the 12:57 mark, now at the 12:39 mark. They've added 8 more to make it 41-22. Jarvis Johnson taking timeout. Get back to Rutgers in a moment. That clock blow up right now. 12:39 to go, and Rutgers has just put 2 scores on the board to go from 41-7 to 41-22. And as a head coach, you know he knows about you never know.
Yeah, and warm up number 3, because Bryan Randall hasn't been in the game and Marcus Vick has, and he's thrown a couple interceptions.
2 touchdowns in 18 seconds, and Vick 5 passes, 2 interceptions, including his last 2 efforts. And the good hands people are up there for Virginia Tech. Cortez pooches it, tries to find some no man's land. Imoh comes up to make the catch, and down he goes at the 15-yard line. Let's take a look at that Jarvis Johnson interception. Well, you'll get a good view here.
Yeah, you're playing free safety if you're sitting at home, and Vick just zeroing in, never sees Jarvis Johnson come from right to left. He was locked into his receiver coming from his right to left. He never looks away. He's looking at his receiver the entire time, and Jarvis Johnson had ahead, his eyes in the backfield. And that's exactly what Paul Ferreira wants to coach. Eye recognition. He wants to take a look at the whole field from playing free safety, and that's exactly what Johnson did.
Frank Beamer not messing around. He's got Randall and Jones back in the game, and Jones gets the first carry. Rips off about 6 yards to the 20. Val Barnaby with the tackle for Rutgers. Take a look at our game summary brought to you by Guinness. Randall very effective today. 250, 4 touchdowns. Shreve has been outstanding. Jones 17 for 77, heading for 100. Points off of turnovers. Look at that. Rutgers 22 to 13. And that's all of their points today, boys and girls. Big-time play, second in a row by Val Barnaby. Signs of life as Virginia Tech got very disinterested in this game, and you know that's where we are right now.
Well, this is what Frank Beamer's trying to fight. You know, he said, don't look at the scoreboard and don't look at how much time's left in the clock. Play each play differently. And that time, Val Barnaby was playing it with a little enthusiasm. He feels like, hey, we have a chance. We're back in this thing. It's only 11 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. We've got some time. We can get the ball back.
Frank was selling to his club what California did to Southern Cal last week. Inside handoff. Jones looking for room. If he gets to the edge, he could do some damage. First down and more. Great hit at the 35, but a first down for Virginia Tech. William Beckford prevented further damage, a 16-yard run, and that gets Jones up to 93 yards.
Your big-time players have to make big plays to ice games, and this could be one of them right here. It was a third down. The crowd was getting back into it. Well, just look at the speed on the outside shown by Kevin Jones. He makes 3 guys miss, and then he carries the last guy forward a couple more yards, and it moves the chains for the Hokies.
20 for 98, averaging 4.9 per carry for Kevin Jones. First down play, Humes. And he gets into the secondary. Durango makes the tackle. That last play, Doug Eastler got a great black on a middle linebacker, Will Gilkison. Deke Leader. Jones getting a blow on the sideline right now. Clock running down, 10:35. Jones close to going over the 100-yard mark.
Yeah, 2 yards away right there.
Once again. Rutgers fans, as we mentioned, 28,956. A lot of Hokie fans here as well, but Rutgers fans making some noise. Inside, got a 2-yard gain at max. Gary Gibson, 95, makes the tackle. And he had help in there from Luis Rivas. And who would have thought that we'd be saying at the 10:05 mark that this is a big 3rd down coming up for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, just as it was the last 3rd down when a big run by Kevin Jones moved the chains. Now they're going to have a big run or a big throw by Bryan Randall. Cedric Hume's in the game now at tailback, so look for Randall to make something happen, maybe with his feet.
If you're Rutgers, you want Raheem Orr to get in the backfield and get a sack. He's got 2 of the 3 sacks. Tech 5 of 8 on 3rd down. Penalty flag was their movement up front.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So now loss of poise, same type of, get out of kilter the way Rutgers did in that first quarter when things started to go bad. 3rd and long. This makes it very interesting. 4 wideouts for Virginia Tech. Shreve's been the hot guy today. They haven't gone to him in a while. And no, sir, broken up. Gilkison was in there, the middle linebacker, shading Wilford. That ball looked like it got into Wilford, and Gilkison knocked it out of his hands. In the spirit of boys, you never know. We might have something going here. 41-22 Virginia Tech with 9:21 to go in the 4th quarter.
That time, Dave, Rutgers really bringing a lot of pressure. They were playing almost an umbrella coverage 4 across the board defensively in the backfield, but they brought a lot of heat on the quarterback.
Just the 2nd punt today for Vinnie Burns. 30-yarder in his first effort. Left footer. Not bad. Moses on the run, dropped it, picks it up. 30-yard line to the edge. Spins out of trouble. Nicely done to the 46. You never know. Timeout. Anderson with the tackle. 41-22 Virginia Tech. Today's Big East football game has been brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Guinness Draft Stout, enjoyed responsibly the world over. The J-Team, only at Jiffy Lube, the well-oiled machine. Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. Saturn, makers of the highly adaptable View, stylish midsize L300, and the fun-to-drive Ion. And by Prestone, when you want protection inside and out, you want the Prestone family. Birthplace of college football here at Rutgers University when they played Princeton 9:08 to go, and Greg Schiano's Rutgers ball club showing some life here after being down 41-7. Going for a big play. Moses, no, behind him. Miscommunication again. A DB knocked down Ryan Hart. He put a lick on him. A DB probably has about 5 or 6 knockdowns this afternoon against the quarterback. Virginia Tech number 4 this week against Rutgers. We're at Rutgers Stadium, Piscataway, New Jersey. Dave Sims, John Kinjemi, Greg Robertson, our Big East crew. Virginia Tech had a 41-7 lead at the 9:21 mark. Randall to Imoh from 10 yards out. Since then, Virginia Tech's interest has waned a little bit. Rutgers has made a couple of plays, and at the very least making it interesting, and some good coverage there by the linebacker Blake Warren on Brian Leonard. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. I like the spirit that Rutgers came in that first play to Moses down the sideline. He was open, but it couldn't get straight if they wanted to come back or rip.
He tried to stop him with the throw, and it was just too low. If it had been up around his shoulder pads, he would have had the catch.
Well, here's a big play here for Rutgers. If they're going to try to get in the neighborhood of pulling off the impossible, they need to convert this at the 9-minute mark. Hart flushed, got time, penalty flag, man open, broken up, almost picked off, and almost caught too by Moses. Fuller broke it up. And Eric Green had a chance to make the pick, but it's going to be a hold, going to walk it back. Actually, they'll probably decline that one.
Well, that's been the story, Dave. When Ryan Hart's had time to throw the football, they've been able to move it a little bit through the air, but he's been under pressure. He's been hit by a DB.
Offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
DB's been in his face pretty much all afternoon.
Daniel Adibi has put all kinds of pressure on that offensive line. And again, Virginia Tech playing with that Coles Colas. They're booking senior out of Plantation, Florida. All Big East potential over there. 6th punt by Joe Radigan, averaging just under 33 a pop. It's a low line. That's not a pretty kick. He needs a good roll, and he does get it inside the 15 to about the 12. Sometimes it's just good to be lucky.
It's all about the roll.
That's exactly right. 8:42 to go, 4th quarter. Let's check in with Greg Roberts.
Well, David, Rutgers is showing some signs of life here, and you're probably wondering, when was the last time that Rutgers beat Virginia Tech? Well, the Scarlet Knights will never forget it because it was great for them. Hokies won't forget it because it crushed them. 1992 on this field. Final play of the game, Brian Forte to Chris Brantley as time expires. Rutgers wins it right there, 50-49. Dave, can history repeat itself?
We got some time. Let's see. Here's Jones. Another big chunk of yardage as he gets over the 100-yard mark. Durango with the tackle. You'll notice that Brian Forte touchdown pass, that happened in the old Rutgers Stadium. Since then, Virginia Tech's won 10 straight against Rutgers. Jones now over the 100-yard mark, 21 for 103. Kevin Jones now with 9 career 100-yard games. There's Jones off tackle to about the 20-yard line, picked up about 3. Last time Rutgers knocked off a ranked team, Penn State, and it was at Penn State back in September of 1988. Came so close last year when we were here against Miami. Who could forget Nate Jones going on about 100 yards
on an
interception return, only to be called back. Bad call. That would have put him up 24-7, I believe, at the halftime. Said Miami gets possession, goes down and scores, make it 17-14, goes on to win 42-17. Tech 5 of 9 on 3rd down today. That's Wilford in motion. Jones gliding and sliding. I don't think he got it. Do not think he got it. Good stick in there by David Harley. We told you he was a good run stopper. The 6'1", 300-pound freshman out of Tallahassee. He's number 93.
Well, the line of the scrimmage battle has been won by Virginia Tech all afternoon. This time, Rutgers doing a nice job getting a lot of red jerseys. And as you said, 93, David Harley, 330 pounds. You can't move him. He's a hard man to move out of the middle. And that time, Virginia Tech does not get a hat on him. And that was one of the first downs you want to have with 6:44 and counting. You want to kind of keep moving the chains and keep Rutgers further and further away from the, an opportunity to get really back in this game.
3rd punt for Burns coming up, 33-5 his average. And that window of opportunity starting to close on Rutgers. They need a play or 2 here. Here's Vinnie Burns. Boy, got this one pretty good. Moses, fumble. That's not going to help. 34-yard line. Rutgers recovers. And luckily for the Scarlet Knights, it was Jason Nugent on the spot for the recovery. A 42-yard punt by Vinnie Burns. 19-point lead for Tech. Welcome back, everybody. 6:23 to go, 4th quarter. Rutgers down 19. They need a score here desperately. Lights out if they don't. And they can't take all 6 minutes to do it.
That's right. They need a quick score.
Leonard straight up the gut. Nice run to the 42-yard line and improves his numbers on an outstanding day, but they need a couple of quick strikes here.
And they've got to think about using, the clock wisely in between plays, Dave. They have to get in and out of the huddle, kind of pick up their tempo a little bit because there's only 6 minutes left to go. They need a couple scores.
3-score game. Leonard for the day, rushing 11 for 72, 3 catches for 25 yards. Hart 15 of 29, 177, a touch and 3 picks. Over the middle, 4 picks. Blake Warren with the interception. And you can cue up that song about the lights.
Cue the lights and put the cannon away.
Hello, Bussy.
That's a backbreaker.
Bussy.
Bus driver drive, because right here you don't see him coming from left to right. You try to fit the football in down the middle is a tough thing, and Blake Warren had his eyes squarely on quarterback Ryan Hart, and that'll make you fold up those folding chairs and take it to the house.
That pretty much says it all right there, Mr. Revolutionary Soldier. Thank you very much. Increasing on an impressive day for Mr. Jones now. He's already over 100 yards, 9th of his career. And what a career it is, my goodness. Junior from Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's check in with Greg Roberts. He's got more on Blake Warren.
Hey, Dave, we're up here in New Jersey in New York Giants territory, and they love to hate the Redskins. Well, his dad, Blake Warren's dad, Donnie Warren, was one of the Hogs, an outstanding tight end for the Redskins. And guess what? Not only we've got another Piglet on this team, not just Blake Warren, but Russ Grimm's son, Chad Grimm, is a member of the Virginia Tech Hokies.
A Piglet, I like that. Son of the Hogs. Jonesy, big run for about 7. Gilkison with the tackle. Kevin Jones with another big run. Talk to me about looking ahead schedule-wise. Granted, Virginia Tech's got Syracuse. It's at the Dome next week. Rutgers at West Virginia. We'll have that one for you. Project ahead, Virginia Tech, as they match up. How do you see them matching up against Pittsburgh and Miami, the other top teams in the league?
Well, Virginia Tech, when they get rolling with this running game, and if Bryan Randall can play at such a high level, they're going to be tough to beat. But they've got redemption on their hands, because they've lost to the 4 opponents they have coming up. They lost to last year, so they're going to have a tough road. And you get Pittsburgh on the road, and that's going to be a tough football game. You get Miami on the road. That's, Miami is coming home to Virginia Tech, so that'll be a little bit easier. But at West Virginia on a Wednesday, that's going to be a battle.
All the coaching staff, the word around the coaching staff, we can want women and children at home.
Anything you'll love, staying home that week.
To say that is an intense rivalry, I think harsh is one we want to begin right there to describe that one. Jones, 26 carries, 119, a touchdown, with 4:03 to go. I got to believe that's the last time we'll see him today.
I agree with you.
Humes gets the carry. Breaks the tackle. More damage done here to the 5. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. Cedric Humes puts a period on the end of this game. That one went for 35 yards. And for Humes, his 5th rushing touchdown this season.
Dave, how about the pirouette about 10 yards down the football field? Look at that spin move. He keeps his feet, and then he sets his blocking up downfield. It's a mad dash about the 10-yard line, and Humes is up to the task.
6'1", 223, a sophomore from Virginia Beach. Final exclamation point by Carter Worley. 48-22. Good looking play by Virginia Tech. Got the interest back on that Hokie sideline with that one. Okay, now we can put it in cruise control. Take a look at our Army of One, brought to you by the United States Army. 1869. What a year. Remember it well.
It was a good vintage.
And an artist's rendition. Now the football, where's the football here?
The football's down. The football's down here. It wasn't real important way back when, I think. They were just into the scrums.
That must have been some time. Virginia Tech. 48-22, Greg Schiano trying to make things happen. It is an uphill battle here at Rutgers. They come in 3-1. They played well for a half and change at Michigan State. They beat winless Army, beat winless Buffalo. Everybody here in the Garden State, a little bit skeptical. Yeah, you're 3-1. Who'd you play?
Right. And his goal, I would think, this year is trying to make some inroads and getting a couple of victories in the Big East. One would be terrific, but there's a couple teams out there that he's got circled that they should beat, and they're going to be competitive this year. As you said, on the road at Michigan State early, they had a 21-21 tie at halftime, came out through an interception, and that kind of led to the demise in the second half. Now, Virginia Tech's ranked 4th in the country. They put up a formidable fight trying to get back into the football game, but this is a team that, has a couple of teams, the Temples and West Virginia maybe having a down year, that they can go and try to win next week, on the road in Mountaineer Field.
going to be a heck of a job by Richie Rodriguez to get that club up, too.
Oh, yeah.
Heartbreaking loss Thursday night. Phasing from about the 8. Can't get to the edge. One other note about this Virginia Tech team, you have noticed the team speed. Don't forget, next Saturday, noon Eastern on many of these stations, Rutgers Scarlet Knights will visit West Virginia in the Big East game of the week. College football from ESPN Plus. Every game is a must-win. And one guy we're looking forward to see, as always, Grant Wiley, linebacker for the Mountaineers, number 6. This is Grant in action against Miami last year. Hello, Mr. McGahee.
We talk about a guy that plays at a high level and his motor's always on. You know, number 6, Grant Wiley, and we saw another guy, you know, number 6, Robinson today for Virginia Tech play at a high level.
Virginia Tech 20 points in the fourth quarter, 20 points off of 4 Rutgers turnovers this afternoon. That last drive, 4 plays, 46 yards at a minute 56. That off a hard interception. Humes from 35 yards out.
Tackles by Aaron Rouse.
And the clock runs. 2nd down and 7 coming up. And boy, there's a price paid there by Mr. Moses. Trez Moses eaten up in that secondary. Aaron Rouse with the tackle. Ball was a little bit behind him, and it always puts your receiver in a little bit of jeopardy.
Yeah, and always a recurring theme today when you take a look at number 13, Ryan Hart, is the pressure he's been under.
Yes.
There's been white jerseys around the football when he's had it like you would not believe in that pocket. So it's been tough to put the ball on the money today because of the pressure.
That stat sheet's going to, when the coach is grayed out the tape, Mr. Adibi's going to get credited for about 6-7 knockdowns and a couple of sacks and several hurries. Slings it behind Trey Moses. Moses was coming in. The ball went behind him.
The toughest thing, Dave, as a quarterback when you're under a lot of pressure, and the most important thing is setting your feet to throw. And today he's been rattled so much and been hit so many times and put to the ground that he's sore right now. And his body's moving in all different directions, and that's why it leads to inaccurate passing, because his feet aren't set and you really can't step into any throws.
Joe Radigan a punt for the 7th time today. D'Angelo Hall makes fair catch, 38-yard line. Take a look at some of the college football rankings brought to you by Allstate. Good hands make all the difference. Big East continues to have really good representation in the top 25. Miami and Virginia Tech. Pittsburgh at 3-1. There's going to be some great games.
Oh, yeah. It's on now. The switch has been clicked on, and those teams are going to start to meet one another, and it's going to be really a bruising battle when Miami goes on the road this coming week to Florida State.
Marcus Vick back in. His last 2 passes have been picked off. Doubt that he'll see much time throwing it now. Humes gets another carry. Humes having a good day. Got that touchdown the last possession by the Hokies. Humes 6 carries for 42 yards. I'll take that average.
Yeah, that's a pretty good average.
Some of the Rutgers fans, those here saying throw the ball, they're well aware that Vick has thrown 2 picks. 2nd down play for Marcus Vick. And keep it on the ground. John Candelas, tailback. I want to thank the fellas in the booth with us today. Stage manager Benji Kriegler, spotter Jimmy Stamos, stats Rich Freesia, and John Lombardo. We were in good hands today.
Yes, we were handled.
Outstanding back of the game. It's brought to you by the folks at Outback Steakhouse. We'll go with Mr. Randall. Look at that efficiency. 16 for 22, 250, and 4 touchdowns.
It's the best he's looked all season, Dave, in efficiency, high percentage of passes. When you run the football in your Virginia Tech, you want to run it around 250 yards. They met all of those challenges today.
Virginia Tech goes to 5-0. Rutgers will drop to 3-2. Frank Beamer and company won another Big East opener. They're 12-1 in Big East openers. And how about this? Increased their road record in the Big East to 24-15. 1 or 2 more snaps, and the Hokies get set up to head back to Blacksburg, Virginia. Candelas with the tackle again. 125 and counting. Now, granted, and this certainly takes nothing away from Virginia Tech. They overmatched these guys today, Rutgers. They overmatched Connecticut. But I tell you what, they got team speed, they got strength, they got depth, quarterback that's playing well, and a running back.
They're getting very, very close to putting a complete game together. They've done it, 2 of 3 phases probably in the first half of this season, where the offense and defense has played well. Maybe the special teams didn't, or the defense and special teams and the offense may have sputtered, but they're getting closer to putting a full game together. And when they do, look out, because somebody is going to get lambasted.
Total yards for Virginia Tech, 473. Don't forget, they had 200 change. Vinnie Burns and Luke Christie. My goodness. They had 200 of those yards in the first quarter. Rutgers with 303 for total yardage. 54 yards on the punt, best today for Vinnie Burns.
If you're on the Rutgers side as well, Dave, now they're 3-2. They have to go on the road to Virginia Tech, and that's to West Virginia, excuse me, and that's going to be a challenge for Greg Schiano to get these guys up. And they're facing a team that really had a game won. It's a complete opposite of going into that game for both coaches.
And if you're West Virginia, or the West Virginia players, they may think, hey, maybe we have an easy mark here. So if you're Rutgers, you really got to gear up. Got to forget this game. Nobody expected you to do as much as you did today. Put 22 points up on the board. And now in West Virginia, if they get a full house out in Mountaineer Field, those fans get after, that's a very difficult environment. Fun place to go for us.
Fun place to go for us. Not fun if you're wearing a different colored jersey.
Looking at maybe one more snap here. 20 seconds on the clock and a 48-22 Virginia Tech lead. What's the over/under on Frank Beamer? What he can find? He's got to be. He got to have a happy list, but on his unhappy list can't be more than 2 or 3 things.
Yeah, there's probably a few things that he's going to correct, and he'll figure that out.
They get it to Leonard, and Leonard has had an outstanding day, and that will do it. Rutgers showed a little sign of life, gave us a little bit of a thought that maybe the impossible was going to happen, but Frank Beamer and company come away with a 48-22 win over Greg Schiano and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. This Virginia Tech club is good, folks. Folks down in Blacksburg and around the state of Virginia, Hokie land, there's a lot to like about this ball club. And as they stay healthy, they're only going to get better. And Bryan Randall, can't say enough about the young man. Everybody talked about young Mr. Vick coming in, but all Randall has done is put up numbers and just be outstanding.
And he did it in every way possible, Dave. There he does it with his strength and running ability. But when he had time to sit in the pocket, he was able to deliver the football as well. Up the middle on a quarterback draw, he did it all, and he was very accurate throwing the football. Chris Sheave on the outside, and Greg Roberts is with coach.
Like a coach on the field. We passed up on Frank Beamer to talk to this guy, Bryan Randall, the star of the day. What do you think, young man? What do you think? 4 touchdowns, not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think we came out here, we was prepared to play, and we had a great day. We was on with the receivers. It was a good day to pass the ball, and I think we prepared well this week to play a good game.
What do you think about your progression? It seems like each week you get better and better. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I'd agree. That's my goal. My goal is to keep improving day by day, and every time I step on the field, I want to do something better than I did the first game. So I'm happy with my game today.
Now, you were down. Richard Johnson stayed in Blacksburg. Justin Hamilton, another of your receivers, his ankle looked like a grapefruit. Chris Shreve stepped up. Mike Imoh stepped up. Did you ever doubt it?
No, I didn't. That's a sign of a good team. There's never a doubt in my mind that we got somebody go out that somebody else is going to step in and play just as well. And that's what they did today. Mike Imoh and Chris Shreve did a great job today.
Brian, you guys are ranked number 4 in the country. You're unbeaten. Syracuse is coming up next. How do you approach these games?
Well, one by one. This week we're going to get back on Syracuse. We're going to put this one behind us. It's a great win, but we got to move forward. We can't dwell on the last game. We got to move forward to Syracuse, and we're going to be ready to play them this week.
Thanks for your time, Brian. Nice job this afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay, let's throw it back up to you, David.
All right, Greg, thank you, and thanks to Bryan Randall. What a performance he put on for us this afternoon here at the birthplace of college football, Rutgers University. 48-22, Virginia Tech. We'll be back to put a ribbon on this one Number 4 remains unbeaten. The Hokies win by 26.